Welcome to A Hero Story, episode 134. This week is the biggest week in Hero Story history. Not only are we talking news, but we're doing something unthought of before. We're doing a Q&A. I'm your host, Harper, and joining me on my podcast is...
The comic book hunter, also known as just Hunter.
That was lame. That you killed the vibe. History of the Flash, JD here.
I thought that was
come on, that was
cool.
hype as.
Yeah. Harper, that was your first intro. How does that feel?
No,
was
it's actually
good.
my second intro. I've done it
Oh.
before.
I got chills now. I got a little chills from that.
Loki, bro, fucking cat
Oh.
just jumped up on the desk like 10 seconds into the show, bro. You got
Welcome,
anything?
welcome our fourth host of the show, Loki the cat. And that was perfect.
All right, well, he's done.
And yeah, that's a hero story. As he mentioned, we're going to be doing a Q&A today. You submitted questions on our Instagram story at a hero story. And before we get into any of that, we're going to do some reviews that you guys left for us. I have one. Harper has. Damn, I already did it. I do it every week.
It's so
Harper
soon.
has-
We just started. Oh,
It's the H's. They kill me. But
The
anyway,
hump and the
you got
hunter.
one review and one lost review. So we'll get into it.
oh
you want
yes,
to-
I'm going to say that off the top. I saved one review and I've lost the other one. So if you're the dude who sent me the other review and you're listening right now, can you message me and go, yeah, that was my review, and I'll do it next week? Sorry, man.
Harper kind of messed up, but it's okay because he'll get to you next week. You want me to start with my review?
Yeah.
This is from Adam Brown 257, and it's a 5-star review, and he said it's pretty good. He said, writing because you said that you'd read this comment next week. Keep up the good work, though. Hero Story is genuinely one of my favorite podcasts. Thank you, Adam Brown, for taking advantage of the
Thank you,
system
Adam.
of us reading
Oh.
you on the show.
Oh boy, that was short and sweet because this one is not short at all. And I
Is it
haven't read
sweet?
this.
Oh, okay.
Is it? I don't know. This is from Aiden, longtime listener of the show, I believe. All right. He said he started with the title, The Gang Podcast of an Italian Gangster That Loves Future State Flash, Canadian Boy That Buys Nothing But Timmies and Comics, Kangaroo Boxer Who Happens to Love Iron Man, and College Guy That Loves Cosmic because Cosmic. I guess Tyler's now the Cosmic guy as well.
Oh,
I will take it.
So you don't have to get the blame.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, Jesus Christ. Honestly, honestly, for me, I look forward to this podcast every Friday or Saturday. Even when there's no new episodes, I've been going back to previous episodes, enjoying hearing people talking about their passion for comics and hearing their thoughts on it, along with having so much fun with the entire cast. It's the podcast that comic fans can be a part of, as it's a conversation about the thing we love, that we talk about with our friends or anyone. We may not agree on everything with comics and media around it, but we can enjoy the conversation. Oh, that's it. There's a next paragraph. I thought that was leading into something. Now the somewhat hopefully funny review, but probably not. Honestly find it hilarious hearing Harper talk about definitely true stories of Stan Lee being the devil, with being best friends with the fake Mandarin. Think all fans are waiting for the shoe to drop on who JD's father is, as we found out Hunter's being the Australian guy that's obsessed with all things Iron Man Flash. I
Mhm.
do think it's funny that he misspelt Australian and he's wrote Austrian. So I guess I'm Austrian now as well. Personally, JD's father must be and he's put this symbol,
God.
The
Italian symbol, cannoli that has the speed force. Harper seems to always throw the podcast for a fun spin, and his impressions and etc. seem to add to somewhat soap opera to the podcast. Yeah, that's fair. Oh God, there's a big Hunter section. Wow.
Oh.
Hunter is always the calm, joyful person on the podcast, ready to drop all his money for comics and get his friends into it. Now having Harper's wallet in extreme pain, asking for it to end. It's suffering after many CGC books. Also, before I continue, you guys said a couple weeks ago that I didn't listen to your CGC like part of the podcast. I did.
He said that. He said that. I did not
Yeah,
say it.
I
He
was
said it.
joking. Not only did I listen to it, I replayed it when I was driving to work. So I've listened to that conversation twice. So get fucked, Hunter.
I'm sorry. You said you didn't. I didn't know you were joking.
All right, shut up. JD is always the straight man that runs the operation as he talks about his constant passion for Flash and all things DC. But don't expect him to love future state Flash. Unless, oh my God, unless you want to kid yourself. I thought that said something much darker for a second there. Tyler, I find so fascinating. I feel like he had a lot to offer as he always has something interesting to contribute, as I find him really smart with his in-depth knowledge of the Marvel universe and growing knowledge of the DC universe. I don't know if we should be giving Tyler compliments on this podcast. Anyway.
Yeah, he's not here right now. You can say what you want.
Don't say cosmic 3 times or Harper may disappear, most likely due to his internet connection or him or him going to hell because of Stan Lee. All right. In all seriousness, though, I love the podcast, hearing groups of friends talking about their love for comics as we go week to week, talking about the wonders of comics for the week, with all the highs and lows, with them making me more excited for being a comic fan and now becoming an ongoing comic reader as I'm subscribed to a few comic book ongoings. I guess that's what we hope for, isn't it? I'm definitely excited to be part of the ongoing conversation to discuss my thoughts with the amazing community, as they've been great people and always thoughtful and passionate about comics. Because of this community and podcast, they inspire me to be more expressive. Oh, that's sweet. About my love for comics and spread it by starting an Instagram account. Seeing and hearing this community who share the same passion is truly something beautiful and amazing. Wish I've done it a long time before I knew these people, and they're all amazing. 5 out of 5 stars. Sorry for the long review. Apparently iTunes hates long reviews. Oops. So that's comic.runner Aiden. He's listened to the show for a long time.
Yeah. He's messaged us for a long time. That's great. Thank you, Aiden. That was really kind. Really
all
well
the people who
too.
skip past the review. How you going? Welcome to the show.
I was gonna say, if this is like someone's first time listening, they must be so confused over like Stan Lee coming from hell to take you down. There's a lot of weird references from.
It's a continuity at this point. It's like the Marvel universe. We never reboot, so everything's canon on this show.
Basically, yeah.
So we're gonna DC it one day, and we're gonna be like, "Hey guys, welcome to a Hero Story episode 1. I'm the comic book hunter." Yeah.
Everything's canon. Even episode 1, when we said we're gonna try to keep every episode about 30 minutes. Yeah, that really.
That's like one of the first thing we say.
One of the first things in the episode. I dread the pilot. Like I don't even want to listen to it.
I don't think I have.
It's
maybe for a YouTube video one day we'll just listen to highlights of it, but oh god,
I would love to do that.
I dread the idea of listening to it because I'm gonna cringe the entire time.
I don't think it's bad. I think I re-listened to it fairly like a year ago. I remember when we were doing it, we're just like, oh, it's called Pilot because Supergirl's first episode was Pilot.
Yeah, as if that's not every
show, because it was when Supergirl was like starting.
Supergirl is so unique to call it Pilot.
Pilot, whoa, what like interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yo, you slipped into Caleb there.
We've been
yeah. Hey guys, whoa.
Anyways, welcome to A Hero Story, where we usually start off with the news of the week, then the comics of the week, and then after that we're doing the Q&A. But for comics this week, we got The Amazing Spider-Man issue 62.
Didn't read it.
That's about it. I know Teen Titans Academy also came out. My store didn't have it. I still plan on reading and reviewing on the show, but this week we're probably just going to skip over it.
I have a gripe with it, so I'll talk about that. Also, I read the B story of Detective Comics with Damian Wayne.
Oh, okay. So we'll get into that when we get to the comment discussion. Timestamps are in the description below. If they're not, they will be in a little bit, so just refresh your page. Yeah, starting for the news of the week, I have to pronounce some names. And Sarnoff, who works at Warner Brothers, I guess, says that even though Restore the Snyderverse is trending like crazy, it's almost at 1 million tweets on Twitter, the movement will not happen. They're just going to pursue the current DC film plans, such as the Peacemaker TV show and the Blue Beetle movie. Restore the Snyderverse, even though everyone seems to want it, not going to happen, it seems.
It's so passive aggressive. It's so funny. She's like, we're really happy with what we've done with the Snyder Cut, but also fuck off if you want more. That's exactly what it is.
Yep. So if you Snack Snyder has been saying like I said Snack Snyder.
Whenever you see Zack Snyder's like ripped arms, you're like, there's Snack Snyder.
Oh god, I didn't need that.
Is that why they call him Zaddy and Boss?
Zack
anyway,
Snyder.
Zaddy's
He said that if people keep watching the Snyder Cut, including Justice is Gray, which just released, it's just the Snyder Cut in black and white, there's a chance that the Snyderverse will continue in some form. But as of now, no plans, nothing's official.
Hey, boss, I'm commenting on Vero because I want to know your thoughts about, are we going to see the Snyderverse?
Hey, boss. I love the boss.
What do they call boss?
They call him boss, but they also call him Zaddy, like daddy with a Z. And that
those are two separate fan bases of like the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. They're two. One's just like, we respect Zack Snyder's vision, and the other one's like, Zack Snyder, hey?
Yeah,
like,
basically.
It's a Venn diagram, but they don't quite.
Some people love Superman, but they don't read the Superman comics. Some people love the comics, but they don't really like the movies. So they both love Superman.
Well, they just thirst after Henry Cavill.
Exactly.
That's the Venn diagram. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, if you want this to happen, keep tweeting restore the Snyder Cut or Snyderverse, I guess, and keep watching.
I don't think it will. Like, I think the Snyder Cut is like the 1 in a million thing that's going to happen, and that's it.
Yeah, I'd like to see it continue, but I don't think it will.
I found it hilarious when they're like, yeah, we won't be doing like the David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad, and the internet collectively went, oh well, who gives a shit?
Yeah, everyone was like, oh no. Anyways.
Just nobody cared.
Nobody gives a shit.
Listen, my feeling on the Snyderverse is kind of how I felt about the Snyder Cut to begin with. If it happens, I'll watch it, but if it doesn't happen, okay, I'll move on.
Yeah, you're not going to campaign.
I'm not going to post about it. I'm not going to go on every HBO Max comment section and spam.
Oh God, yeah.
I'm not. Some people were spamming my comment section with it. I don't want to hear that.
I thought that was so funny. It's like, what are you gonna do?
So, like I care, and I'm like immediately just delete the comment. I don't want that shit on there.
Hey,
it's all engagement. It's all. I mean,
I like to see it happen, but I just don't think it will. So. Oh God, names. Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan, come on.
Brosnan.
Pyreky Brosnan was casted as Dr. Fate for Black Adam.
Fucking Kent Nelson. That is amazing. That is just such good casting.
I'm excited for that. I wonder how often we're gonna see the helmet on.
Here's what I want. I want him to play the same role that he plays in Justice League Dark, where he's like a sorcerer and a mystic still. But he doesn't want to put the helmet on in case like it just completely takes over him again.
Yeah.
Because like, Nebu is like the evil spirit in that. I mean, it's not evil, but it's like in the middle. And I like the idea that we could get an Infinity War Thor level like entrance at the end where like, Kent Nelson the entire time is like, no, I can't put on the helmet. And then right at the end, like there's some big battle and he comes in with the helmet and it's just like the big symbol in the background and everyone's like, oh shit.
And we get like really its own theme come on.
Yeah, it's the Wonder Woman ancient lamination.
Icelandic woman sings.
Oh no.
That I could totally see that happening. I'd be happy with that because the whole thing with Dr. Fate is his main source is the helmet, but also when he puts on the helmet, he's technically possessed in a way.
That was a great description. Dr. Fate's whole thing is like his helmet.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
I read comics, bro.
Now I got to be the one in Tyler's place to just bully Hunter.
I've seen Young Justice.
Dude, Young Justice. Did that get canceled?
I'm glad that they casted an older actor. There was rumors that they were going to do the second Dr. Fate, like the younger one.
Oh, Khalid.
Yeah, but I'm kind of happy they did the older one. I like him. To start,
they might do it for a sequel.
Oh, they could. They could have him training. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, Black Adam takes place in the past, so if they ever go to modern day for like a potential sequel or anything, they could do.
Of course, yeah.
They could do like the younger Dr. Fate, but it's good that they're starting with the older one.
Alive. Yeah.
Yeah, or that. Rob Livingston has been casted as Henry Allen for the Flash movie, replacing the original casting
Billy
Crudup.
Yeah,
because
Crudup. He said Crudup.
Whatever.
It's Billy Crudup.
He's Dr. Manhattan, the best superhero of all time.
JD went Billy Crudup, and then you went, yeah, Billy Crudup.
Billy Batson has been casted.
This is the harass Hunter hour.
Billy Batson has been casted as Flash's father.
Thank you.
The reason being is because the original actor cannot make it due to scheduling conflicts. So I guess they still had a role for Henry, so recasted. I mean,
Billy was
It's-
actually really good in the Snyder Cut. That was like one of the scenes that I really enjoyed in the Snyder
That's
Cut.
it.
Was him in
that's
the
my
the glass.
boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
absolute
we'll
best
see.
of the
I'm
best.
curious what role he's actually going to play in Flashpoint, because if
Don't waste your life on
you know,
some
if
old
Fla-
dude who's not getting out.
okay,
Yeah,
we
he's
saw the
so
Snyder
good.
Cut. Everyone saw the Snyder Cut. 1
He's
million
so
tweets.
good though. I just
No,
love
he is
Billy
good.
Crudup.
He is good.
Thank you.
And yeah, and after the Snyder Cut, like, yeah, it's sad to see him go, but I do really like Ron Livingstone because of Band of Brothers.
Well,
a
it beats the rumor
good
of
show.
Don Cheadle, so I guess we're
What?
okay.
Wait, what? Wait, what? I'm so good. What's the joke?
He's joking that he was going to get recasted as Don Cheadle.
Oh
like-
my
like,
god, dude!
It's War Machine.
You
Wow!
know, next time, baby.
Wow! Wow!
The end of the Snyder Cut is Ezra's like, I got the job, my foot's in the door, and he just looks at it and goes,
And it's just Don Cheadle.
he looks at the
Whoa,
the resume.
that would be the DCU fans on
Oh.
Instagram explaining how Flashpoint magically changes everything. Like now,
That's
his
so
father
good.
is Don Cheadle.
That is so good.
next time, baby.
Uh.
Wallace Day has been casted, another casting for DC, has been casted as Kate Kane for Batwoman, replacing Ruby Rose. She's playing the same character, apparently. They're just
Yeah.
recast. So again, not Don Cheadle. I don't know why. But
You tried the joke once. It was funny the first time. You can't do it the second time.
No,
Sorry,
no,
I don't make
no,
the rules.
no. Hey Hunter, I'm with you. That one, that was good.
yeah, thank you. I'm gonna keep doing. Yeah, when Ruby Rose in the Batwoman season 1 finale, she looked at the Batster and went, "Next time, baby."
Just fucking
God.
imagine if Don Cheadle rocked up in the Batwoman costume.
Would he still have the
How
red
fucking
wig?
good that would be.
It's still the red wig.
No, he'd actually
Just
use the
doesn't
red
fit
wig
him.
from. He'd actually use Carnage's red wig from the end of Venom, like Harper's
no.
nightmare.
There's gonna be
Oh,
carnage, baby.
Oh my god, so
Yeah, a lot of recastings. I guess I kind of skipped over this, but there is actually a lot of casting news for the Flash movie, including like a young Ezra, well, I guess young Barry,
yeah.
and a few actors and actresses were confirmed to be in the movie for an unknown role, like not confirmed yet. I didn't bother putting them down because there's not much to say besides this person's gonna be in the Flash
Besides
movie.
you
Plus,
mispronouncing
yeah.
their name, and you
you
know,
don't know. Yeah. Plus, I
Yeah,
don't-
they're gonna be in it, and we don't know what they're playing. Like, what's the point?
Yeah. So if you are curious, you can Google it because there's quite a few castings. Just the only big one was the Henry Allen one. So
The recast for Kate Kane. I mean, I'm never gonna watch that show, so I don't
Yeah.
really care. But people were calling for her to be like cast as soon as Ruby Rose like left. They were like, bring her in as Kate Kane. But then
really,
they
Oh,
went the other direction with the new character. But
I didn't know
I
that.
forget. I don't even remember where I was going. Oh yeah, I saw a comment. I have no idea who said it, and they're never gonna hear this anyway. They just went, is what's her name? Wallace? What's her name? Isn't it Wallis?
It looks like Wallace.
Wallace, yeah, Day. They're like, oh, is she gonna have to like dumb down her actings to match Ruby Rose from season 1? And I was like, damn, that's
She was
brutal.
in Krypton. as
She's in
far as I know.
Krypton, yeah.
Yeah.
Another show I haven't watched.
I've watched season 1, but I don't remember much of it.
I
to be honest.
apologize for that. No, I think I did a Hunter with that name pronunciation.
Yeah, I was expecting JD to be like, but okay, I guess it's
yeah,
just me.
yeah, but I'm better than you.
Yeah, I know. We got our first poster for the Suicide Squad. Did you guys see it? It like just dropped before we
Yes.
recorded.
Yeah,
Okay.
old school. Look cool.
We're getting a trailer as of this episode releasing, so we're not going to talk about the trailer. We likely will talk about it next week for the next week's episode, but as of recording, it's not out yet. Confirmed to be rated R by James Gunn, though. So interesting. Kind of makes sense for a Suicide Squad movie, I suppose. But yeah, it's a very classic looking poster. I like the look of it a lot.
It looks like an old western.
Yeah, it does, which is
Yeah, it's
strange
cool.
for the Suicide Squad of all movies. But
Oh well.
I'm glad we're finally getting this movie.
I just like it's gonna be like stylish, and I like that.
Marketing in superhero movies seems so strange because like we got the behind the scenes for this movie almost a year ago.
Yeah,
A full behind the scenes
DC
video.
fandom. Yeah,
Yeah. And we haven't even got our first look at like Shang-Chi yet, which comes out soon. It's
Yeah,
weird
that's
how
weird.
the
That
difference
one
of
is
marketing
weird.
here. Yeah. For Marvel news, there's a rumor that Echo is going to get a Disney Plus series. Echo is a hero that's going to be in the Hawkeye show. It's a rumor. I don't think it's going to happen. It's Echo. I mean, she's cool. I don't mind Echo, but I don't think she could hold her own full series.
Yeah, we always say that, and then they give us a character that we didn't think could do that, and then they do. So who knows? But yeah, I don't really care. Echo's a character that showed up in Daredevil like twice, and I didn't care either time. So
She's like the show, or
no. The comic. She was
okay, I
during
was like,
she was
wait,
in
what?
between the Bender stuff. Remember?
Did you
Yeah.
not know that the show Daredevil is based on a comic?
No,
Yeah.
well, their whole
It
thing
comes
is
from the source material. They didn't create it.
the whole thing is Captain America tried to get Daredevil to join the Avengers. He's like, nah, because my identity's out there, and I don't want to risk being caught going to Avengers Tower every morning. So he recommended Echo join instead because Echo has a similar skill set to him and knows the hand as much as he does. So that's how she comes in. She's actually Ronin before Hawkeye was Ronin. She kind of inspired Clint Barton to become Ronin. But
oh yeah, that's the Marvel knowledge that you knew over Tyler, right? That you were like, yeah, you were big brain Marvel. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, the thing about Tyler is that he's like one of those dudes that just spends most of his day like reading Wikia summaries of books. Like I don't think he actually reads a lot.
He's just quickly leaving the podcast right now, listening to messages.
He's got like that vein, like that meme where it's like the vein, like
I can see the dots typing already.
Next bit of news. I'm trying to find the full list right now, but the MCU movies all got pushed back. Well, not all of them, but most of them got pushed back actually. Here it is. So now Black Widow is going to be releasing July 9th. It was originally start of May, but now it's been moved to July. And this is the last time the movie's going to be moved. It's now going to be getting a Disney Plus release, but you have to pay for it extra.
Yeah.
The price isn't set yet, but it's going to be the same thing as Mulan and Raya the Last Dragon, which is $30. So are you guys going to pay for this if you don't have theaters? I guess, Harper, you're in Australia, so you can just go.
We've got theaters. I'll be seeing it in theaters.
If
I was going to go see
theaters.
King. If we didn't, probably. I've already got Disney Plus. It's like, what's $30? I'm rich, baby. I'm bowling in it.
I forgot you're rich.
Whoa! It's the first. It's the investment into the first appearance of War Machine. That's what $30 is the start of that.
If you guys have ever read a comic where they go to like Dr. Doom's castle, that's basically where Harper lives. Like he lives in a palace. It's really cool.
Yeah, exactly. You can tell by the shoebox room with the little bit of plaster coming off the wall. Right? The reason that I had a poster stuck there and it fell off and tore the plaster off, and that was 2 years ago, and I just never fixed it.
Oh, fair enough.
Because it's hidden behind the door most of the time.
There you go. JD, would you pay to see Black Widow?
Unfortunately, I guess I'm gonna have to pay for the podcast reasons. However, $30 is a lot when you're just like, you should be able to sell on your Disney Plus, like, hey, I'm a single lonely fuck and I shouldn't be paying $30. I'm gonna be seeing this alone. Like, I'm not watching this with my significant other or with my family. I'm watching this alone in my room in the darkness while I cry.
While you cry?
Well, I think what'll happen is because like one person will buy it and then they'll just say to all their mates, here, log in with mine, and then people will watch it. So if they made it $10, they would lose so much money on it. Because
I should find a mate that will pay $10 for it. So I don't have to
it helps when you're a person that people actually like, I suppose.
You know, I've got one of those jarring personalities where you either love me or you hate me, and a lot of people fall on the second side of that.
Jesus. This got dark. Well, hey guys, Shang-Chi was pushed back to September 3rd.
Really?
Yeah, it's because it was originally coming out in June. So since Black Widow took that, it's going to September. Eternals is staying at November, staying around award seasons, which is interesting. It seems Marvel really wants them Eternals to be.
Yeah, they're some of the stuff they've said behind the scenes, they're like, this is the best thing we've made.
Yeah,
which is crazy. It's like Eternals is the best thing you've made.
It's about Icarus.
Yeah, okay. We'll see, I suppose.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a trailer or anything yet. What If? No release date yet, but it's still gonna be summer of this year. Miss Marvel, Hawkeye will be late 2021, and Spider-Man: No Way Home is staying but in December. It's gonna be December 17th.
God, that's so much content.
I know. I'm glad. Also,
so much.
Got to write this down, but before I forget, I don't know her name. The actress playing Miss Marvel, right when she's done finish filming the finale for the Miss Marvel show, like that month, she's going to film Captain Marvel 2.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, because that starts filming soon, and
Wow.
they're almost done. They're almost done
Yeah.
with production on that. So,
Damn.
when that movie comes out, JD, can you please help us review Captain Marvel 2 in a library?
Oh man, I will have to drive back to my university, which is like 2 hours away, as a non-student, and go back and be like, "Hey, can I just record in the library for nostalgia
Did I just?
purposes?"
Hey, yeah.
For context,
You know that
thought
that
it
thing
was fun.
still honestly gets me annoyed because I literally there was 3 people in the whole library. It's a Saturday morning, everyone's hungover and not in the library. So I asked, "Can I just use the room so I don't have to disturb anyone?" And they're like, "No, just do it in the front there." And then I immediately get commented at. Oh,
for those for
no one was even using
context,
the rooms.
If you go back to our Hero Story episode where we reviewed the Captain Marvel movie when it dropped, JD reviewed it in a library and got
So we were gonna review it on. I'll tell the story real quick. We were gonna review it on a Saturday morning because I don't know, Hunter saw it late or something. I forget what the situation
I thought
was.
you saw it late.
One of us saw it late.
You saw it late.
We're splitting hairs here. So we had to record on Saturday morning, but I had a roommate because I was in college at the time and we shared a room. So he was not a morning person. So when I brought up the idea of me recording my podcast at 8 a.m., he was like, "Yeah, not gonna happen." So I was like, "Okay, maybe I'll just go to the library."
Fuck off, dude.
This is
I'm
my
gonna do it anyway.
door.
Sleep through it or don't, motherfucker.
I was like, whatever, the library's open. No one's going to be there. It's a Saturday morning. I'll just go. So I went, I brought my microphone, and I knew they had rooms in there. And they were actually perfect for recording. Like, it was like a little closed in booth where they actually had stuff on the wall for like recording type thing. And, you could just rent it out with your student ID. So I was like, oh, great. I'll just rent it out real quick. It'll be an hour. We'll be done. So I go up to the desk, and like I said, there's like 3 people in the whole library. And I'm like, hey, could I rent out one of the rooms? And they're like, oh, we only rent out to groups of 3 or more. And I was like, but there's no one else in the library. No
I'm
one's using
doing a
the rooms.
podcast though.
Well, I said I was
reviewing
like,
Captain Marvel.
I didn't say all that, but I was like,
I'm history of the fucking Flash.
I was like, I have to record, so I have to talk into the microphone, so I don't want to disturb anyone. And they were like, oh, just go in that corner of the library. No one's over there. No one will bother you. So I was like, all right, whatever. I set up my stuff. We're recording, and I don't know, maybe 30 minutes in, I hear a knock at the little door that I was in.
You just go silent.
Yeah, I go silent on the show, and they were like, you're being too loud. We need you to move somewhere else. And I'm like, you guys literally told me to go over here.
Oh my god.
I was like, I wanted the room.
To be fair, he was very passionately yelling about how much he loved Captain Marvel.
I was definitely.
It was before
screaming.
It was before we did video podcast.
I was probably
so it's just audio.
I was probably just getting to where I was so annoyed that with the revelation of how he lost his eye was the cat. That's probably what I was yelling about. But but
is my favorite character.
Last time I trust someone, I lost an eye. Hey, kitty. So I was so annoyed. I had to go to the basement of the library. We're still recording. It was a whole disaster. So yes, when Captain Marvel 2 comes out, I guess I'll have to go back to the library.
Then you can be like, I've interviewed Joshua Williamson twice.
Well, at the time it was just one time, I think.
Yeah, no, now I'm saying now.
That's the joke content.
I have a theory. I think they're gonna retcon the whole eye thing. I think Nick Fury's been a Skrull for a long time now. Since at least Age of Ultron, I think he's been a Skrull.
How will they retcon it though? Because that movie was set in the 90s.
I feel like that could have been a Skrull, and then he could be switching out and in with the Skrull for Secret Invasion.
So Nick Fury in Captain Marvel,
Winter Soldier, that he lost an eye when he trusted someone, and that was that was in 2014. And then
okay. I see the confusion. Let me break down. Let me break it down.
He was fighting Skrulls. He was fighting Ben Mendelsohn, who was a Skrull.
I know. I have a feeling that he's been going in and out for the entire MCU, and the reason is because just sometimes he acts in character, sometimes he doesn't. He's the main character of Secret Invasion, and one of the things he says to Captain Marvel is like when she's just asking him questions, like everyone calls me Fury, for example. You don't call me Fury. I don't trust you. He only eats like he can't eat bread or toast unless it's sliced diagonally. In Age of Ultron, he does that. He eats bread and he cuts it diagonally and starts eating it in Age of Ultron on Clint's house.
Yeah. Okay. So that's just his weird character quirk, then, isn't it?
He's saying that if you see me do that, it's not me. That's what he says.
No, they can't have planted the seed. They can't have looked at Age of Ultron and go, no, we'll make it that he never would have done. What if
Did you
that's
see
how
this-
fucking
did you see
Secret
this on
Invasion
Reddit?
starts?
No, I didn't actually.
Oh.
Hunter, if you're right, I'll quit this show again.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah,
No,
this
he
is
doesn't
my
wanna be
last
right.
episode. We forgot to mention that. This is the last episode of me. I'm going.
I'm waiting for the punchline.
I am.
There is no.
I'm not.
punchline.
No, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. This is the last episode for a while. I don't know if I'll be back, but it's going to be an extended break. That's for certain. So enjoy me while I last.
Harper,
Mhm.
I don't like this. End the joke now. We don't do that kind of humor
Not,
on this
it's
show.
not a I'm not joking. I don't.
So
What
you're
are you
telling me that
talking
you
about
killed
this?
those 3 men on the subway because you thought it was funny?
I did, and I'm tired of pretending it wasn't.
Stop werewolfing,
Yeah, no. We'll see though.
Harper. Don't leave the show.
Okay, yeah.
No,
the
it's
one
a-
guy
you know,
who you like
I
missed his
think
review, and you said you
part
did
of the
next
part
week
of the
is
journey
panicking.
is the end. You know, something isn't beautiful because it lasts.
Oh, that's the thing that the guy says in the show.
He says it in the movie, but
That's the thing that he says.
I know. I think he says.
Anyways,
All right,
I'll maybe
you.
resume the news of the week. J.K. Simmons is returning for No Way Home.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool. Okay.
That's all I got. Cool.
That's J.J. Jameson. The only comic news that came out was there was actually a leak that happened for DC. Surprise, surprise. Just a cover leak of a series called Superman: The Authority, written by Grant Morrison, and the trade for this is coming out in November. We don't know if it's
that's
just going to
good.
be a trade or if it's going to be single issues, but it has Superman in kind of like a Kingdom Come looking suit with touch screens and Midnighters on there and Constantine and Enchantress and Apollo. So we don't know what
Okay.
it's about though. We have no idea what it's about because it was just a cover leak.
Have
That's it.
absolutely no feeling at all.
I mean, I might read it. We'll see what it's about.
I mean, Grant Morrison wrote, All-Star Superman, so it's,
Yeah,
it's great.
He also wrote Green Lantern.
They also wrote
About Green Lantern.
arguably one of the most underrated and easily top 5 Flash runs.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's short, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Top-
of course
top-
it's short, but it's also
Yeah,
just.
top-
Mwah.
Yeah, top. Yeah, you can make.
You
an
sent
argument
me some of those issues too. You sent me some of the issues from Emergency Stop, which is the best
that-
story.
I love
in
that. I love
run.
that cover. I use that picture of Wally for
So
everything.
good.
But yeah, you could argue that it's top 4 if it goes Wade, Johns, Williamson, and then Morrison, Miller.
I don't
I
know.
mean, who else are you putting
Williamson.
above?
Well, I think I would put Morrison and Millar's run above Williamson because it wasn't long enough to have any like stories I didn't care about. You know, it's 12 issues versus 100 and something.
Here's the drawback, though. I love the Morrison Miller stuff. The art on it is pretty wretched in some of the issues. Like when Wally has the little soul patch,
Oh,
Bart's got the
in
shaved head.
in
I hate that
yeah.
so much.
The Black Flash has some weird art.
Yeah, that's
but
got some
Emergency
weird out
Stop
there
and the
art.
Human Race. Emergency Stop and the Human Race.
Great stuff. Some of my favorite Flash
Best.
stuff.
So good.
Hunter doesn't know what we're speaking about because he's never read it.
You fucking dick.
You had to just reveal that, JD. You just
I had to.
reveal
I
that.
like these
My
awkward
God.
situations.
Hunter's favorite story is Identity Crisis.
No, it's
Identity
not. Actually.
I have this thing where I read Identity Crisis when I was 14 and I liked it. And then I got into more comics and I'm terrified to reread it because I know I'm not going to like it this time.
It's
So
horrendous. It's
I'm just
so
going to leave it.
good.
I'm just going to leave it in that 14-year-old mindset where I liked it and just leave it at that.
If you ever meet someone who goes, "Oh yeah, the original Dr. Light is my favorite character," run. fucking run away from that person.
That is a sentence no human has ever said. My
Yeah,
favorite
exactly.
character is the original Dr.
Do you
Light.
remember when they adapted Dr. Light for the Titans TV show and all he did was listen to Nickelback and then die? Is that not the most amazing thing in the fucking world? He rocked out to
that.
Nickelback and then he got like shot in the head or something. So funny.
I forgot all about that. Jeez.
What a show. Anyway.
What? Yeah. Remember when they hyped up that show, being like, "We're getting Red Hood, we're getting Blackfire, we're getting all these characters.
coming.
Here's the concept art," and they stopped talking about it for like 5 months.
Yeah, and we'll
We've
get it.
heard nothing.
Oh, it's gonna be so shit. Anyway,
Um,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man came out. It was very much just a filler issue going over Gog, that little pet that they got, like 30 issues ago. And not much happened. It's a Gleason art, so the art's really cool. But yeah, the only thing I really have to say is in it is, why do they keep showing Kindred? Like, stop.
Because they're
They've been
playing the long
showing
game.
they've been showing him in every issue for 12 issues. Stop. We don't have to see. We know he exists. We know he's Harry Osborn. We know he's out there. Well, not
But
really. We know
but
where
Nick
he is.
Spencer wants you to know that Kindred may strike at any time.
I'm liking this run, but Jesus, you gotta stop making these issues as if it's some person's first Spider-Man issue ever, because that's what I feel like they're doing. So it kind of like Scott Lobdell did it with Red Hood, where, except worse, where every single Red Hood issue they'd be like, "My name's Red Hood. I was Robin and I died, but for some miracle, I'm back." They
It's
started
the
every
old
issue
school
with that.
method of storytelling that society has outgrown.
Yeah, so I'm just, it's getting kind of old. So hopefully this run picks up, but right now it's kind of slow. That's all I have to say about it. Teen Titans Academy also came out. Like I said, none of us read it, but JD, you had something to say on it?
Yeah, they made Starfire and Dick Grayson a thing in that. Like, they have a panel. So Teen Titans Academy in Future State had, okay, you guys are being stupid. Stop.
The
It's the ending of the
Lighthouse.
it's the ending of the Lighthouse. Yes. Oh, that was amazing.
Sorry, go on.
I work with children. So in Future State, Teen Titans Academy, whatever, they have like Dick and Corey share like a weird moment where she's like, "Oh, why don't you come see me later? Bring your mask." And it's like a weird, awkward moment. And then in this issue, she, like, they finally meet up and she's like, "Well, did you bring your mask?" And he's like, "No, I forgot it." Corey got a weird mask kink. Okay. But anyway, then like they have like a moment at the end where like they're pretty much like a thing where they share a panel.
But what happened to
like,
Babs?
yeah. But yeah, at the same time, how is this happening at the same time as Taylor's Nightwing, where he's gonna be with Babs? What?
He hasn't been with Babs yet,
but he's gonna be.
Yeah.
Listen. Maybe it's because I don't like Starfire. I don't like their relationship, but I don't want to see it. Just no, I don't want to see it. But it's weird. Sean, Antihero Analysis, did a great post on it where he like showed all the panels. So check out his post if you want to see more about it. But really weird, big gripe. I don't like it. DC continuity, please.
I wonder if Sean's the one who sent me the review. Give me a second. Keep talking. Let me see.
Oh man, he's right now. He's
review.
Right now, he's like, son of a bitch.
Hunter, you better make the thumbnail for this episode my face, just bright white lighthouse. Okay.
Oh gosh.
I'll do me, you, and Robert Pattinson.
Let me check.
That'll be the worst thumbnail in the world. I thought last week's YouTube thumbnail looked so nice because I had like us and I had the Justice League, but it also had like the shield kind of thing.
Yeah, it was cool. It was
cool.
Oh,
You
really?
like it?
It was a good
like
effect. I'm bottoms up in the drink.
Yeah. I think the best one you did was the DC Rebirth, like finger
touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. That's it for the comics that came out. Next week's also kind of
Detective Comics, Connor Hawk.
Oh yeah.
Connor Hawk's back.
I
like the dialogue in that.
Yeah, the B story. Yeah, that was great. I'm really excited for him to show up in Williamson's Robin run. Like, I was already excited for Williamson's Robin because I think Williamson does some great work. And I want a Damian Wayne story where I'm actually going to like him. So I was excited for that. But now adding Connor Hawke into the mix is great. I literally just did a post the other day about how Connor Hawke like needs to return into the mainframe of DC,
absolutely.
and this is the start of it. Williamson, God bless.
That's it. That's another part of Morrison's run, the crossover with
Three of a
Connor
kind,
Hawke and
three of a kind,
Kyle
great
Rayner.
crossover.
So
It looks
good.
like they're gonna fight here because I just saw the dialogue where it's like the best way to get rid of a Robin is by using a hawk or something.
Connor
like that.
Hawke is like he's like grown though. Like unless they like de-age him a lot here, but shouldn't he be like mid-20s?
Yeah, I mean he's like
He's gonna
be
beat
like
up this
Kyle,
kid.
Kyle Wally's age.
Yeah, you can beat the shit out of this kid.
Is Damien still 13? He's been 13 since 2016.
How funny would that book be if like Connor Hawke comes in like
He's
a
just like
grown-up
holding. He's like holding
Just-
Damien's
yeah, just-
head. Like
slaps him like once and just to the ground. Damien's like, oh
Like-
fuck.
I get that aging characters is difficult. Like I totally understand that. But in 2016 for Teen Titans issue 1 for Rebirth, it was Damian Wayne's birthday. And he like has a cake that says 13 on it. And he's like, now I could become a Teen Titan. And he just kidnaps some Teen Titans. That was the whole plot of the first issue. It's weird. But like
Fair
we
enough.
haven't heard anything of him aging since.
I got nothing for you.
Anyways, that usually we have a lot more comics to review in this show, but since we didn't, we're doing a Q&A. We asked you guys on a Hero Story Instagram to ask us some questions, and we actually got about 7,000 questions.
Yeah, we got a fucking ton.
We
you
have
guys
a
went
lot.
you went go check the account. I was like, oh, actually, before we continue, I'll find his name, but we had a follower make I think it was for a like a college or a school.
Trey.
Yeah, he
Trey
made an
Davies,
ad for the podcast, and it was like the coolest like thing.
Yeah,
I've
he,
ever-
he messaged the account, the Hero Story account, like, "Hey, can I make an advertisement?" One of you responded to him.
It was
first, and then
me. Yeah,
and
it was me.
then no one responded to him since. So I was like, "Yeah, sure, man, hell yeah."
The best part was he was like, he went, "Oh, thanks, Harper," and I was like, "Did you know it was me because I said holy shit?" And he's like, "Yeah." Anyone else would have been like, "Yo, man, that's really cool," and I was just like, "Holy shit, dude!" Yeah, it was this. If it focuses up, yeah, so
yeah.
cool.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
I like that my quote went on top. That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well,
Actually,
yeah,
my
it's-
whole introduction, like that's
Yeah,
basically
that
my-
is
yeah.
JD's
that's basically my
introduction.
rundown. Trey held it down.
amazing. So yeah, that was the coolest thing.
That was cool.
Anyway,
Thank
Lot
you
of
for
questions.
making us an ad. Yeah, so we won't be able to answer all these questions because there's 2 million of them, but we're just doing this live. We haven't really reviewed them all, so we're just gonna pick some and answer them for you just at random here. So, any of you guys have a question you want to start with?
I
Oh,
figured
one
you,
of us-
I thought you were just gonna read them off. And
yeah, that's what I thought too.
Oh, I was just thinking we go randomly. If you want, I can.
I thought you were our arbiter here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
love Halo 2.
okay. Let's
Such a
see.
dope-
That's all I thought someone picked that up.
We'll start with comic.titan asks comic characters that you want to see make a return.
Well,
Sean to saying
mine wa-
about this. Sean to saying it was Dick Grayson's ex-girlfriend from the Rebirth run. We haven't seen her since he got shot in the head. That's my character. She was the face
Oh,
in like the early days of comics when he was Robin, but then she dated Dick for about 2 years, and they had the best relationship, and I miss her. That's my character that I want to see.
wow.
You guys?
Well,
Do you guys
mine was Connor Hawke, but he's kind of already made his return into main continuity. So I don't know. I'd like to see Donna Troy get back into relevance because it seems like every other Wonder Woman is getting into relevance except for her.
Really? I feel like we haven't seen Cassie in a while. Well,
All right, her and Cassie are getting equally
She
shit
was
on,
in
but
Young
everyone else
Justice,
is getting
but, like-
promoted.
I feel like she's
Young
gonna.
Justice.
Well, she's gonna be in
Uh,
Titan. She's in Titans Academy. So
Um,
Harper.
Well, I was thinking because most of my answers I think would be DC characters because obviously with the reboot, we were missing a bunch. But then it felt like any of the ones that I cared about, like, have already shown back up. I don't know. It'd be cool to see like Cobalt Blue again. Although no, he was even in that Future State book though. So like, they're referencing.
But like a legitimate story with Cobalt Blue would be actually
Yeah,
really
like
cool.
I mean,
I said
do-
the same thing about Dark Flash, Walter West, because like they had him in some background scene. I don't remember if it was Williamson's final issue.
Oh, it was
or
yeah, when they all run out. Yeah, he
yeah,
was
and
there.
one of them he's there. So like there's a story to be told there. I think that would be cool. And now that Wally's back in the book, maybe.
Maybe,
I do think it's time for the Mandarin to reappear, and I'm not just saying that because I'm still called the Mandarin in this group. But he died in 2012 at the end of Matt Fraction's run. That's
Oh, he
almost a
hasn't
decade
been
ago.
back since.
He has not been back since, so I think
Maybe-
it's probably time.
maybe they
And
get
it would
Uncle
be
Venom.
nice for this current run to do like a big, you know, a big Mandarin story. It's
Mhm.
like, oh, the return of the Mandarin. That would be really cool. But I can't think of a character who's been like properly gone that I'd be like, oh, we need to get them back. I think every character that I care about that like disappeared is back at this point, or has, you know, some sort of story relevance, if that makes sense.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no, I mean that's a good thing for you if you all the characters you
Oh,
like
it
are
is.
in
I'm
comics
very
right now.
lucky.
So,
Yeah.
comic.runner asks, "What's your go-to comic to read when you're feeling stressed?" I tend not to reread comics that often, so the first thing that came to mind there was if I were stressed and wanted to read something to help de-stress, Superman for All Seasons. It's a very calm
Great book.
comic that
Great
JD
book.
actually sent me about a year and a half
Yeah.
ago. It just goes over Superman, the early days of Superman for all the seasons: summer, winter, fall, and spring. I said that in weird order there, but yeah.
I think the original Young Justice one is that for me, where it's kind of just like I kind of turn my brain off with it and just have a goofy old time reading it. Like it's real fun for me. So I think that's kind of like my de-stressor. I love to reread comics. So I reread
Stop
comics all the
moving
time.
around, JD.
I'm very fidgety. Like I can't
What do
sit
you
in one
sit
place.
your microphone on? Is it just like a dinner plate?
It's literally on my laptop. Like how can I?
Whoa, we
I
didn't
don't know
need
how
that
to- I don't know
shot.
how-
Jeez,
I don't know how to show
yo.
this, but it's literally on
What
my
the-
laptop. See, I don't have a desk because I don't have any room in my room. So I'm sitting on my bed right now with my laptop on my lap. So sometimes I get a little uncomfortable. I need to adjust around.
Truly is a laptop.
Oh,
Why do you say that like that's not the name, like the reason for the name?
I just
What? Oh
Move
my
on.
god!
move
I
on.
get it now.
Harper, what comics do you reread when you're stressed?
I will scroll through pretty much like anything that I like, but like not really read. I might like just go back through a trade that I have.
Hunter's
and-
like scroll through digital.
Oh yeah,
I don't
I'm
mind
sorry.
digital, I just don't
or
read
flip
it.
through, or flip whatever, or click through, or swipe through, whatever you want. But yeah, like I always just look for like just cool moments, and I just like it might be 3 pages that I just read again, and I'm just like, that's so good. I remember for a long time, I would keep reading just like the 5 pages in the first issue, like in DC Rebirth 1 where Barry and Wally reunite, because like nothing in comics had made me feel that way before. And I would
Yeah.
just like it would like whether I was like stressed or sad or even happy, I would just read it and it would just like bring me to tears. It's like such a pathetic thing to say. Oh, it brought me to tears. But I legitimately like well up in the eyes. And when he's like, Wally, I'm just like,
That's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, so that's a really, I think DC Rebirth one is a good one.
It is a great one, yeah. Cool username here. Timosaurus.rex asks, favorite indie comic, and why don't you guys cover more of them?
Once in future.
Cha-ching, fuck yeah.
Nice. We don't cover more of them because I don't read them in single issue. I tend to get them in trade if I'm going to get them
Same.
at all. And I don't actually get that many. So I want to get into more of them. I am very open to suggestions. Something I realized recently about Comixology, cover your ears, Hunter, I'm talking about digital comics, but something I learned recently is that a lot of popular indie series, the first issue is free on Comixology, so you can sample it. So, East of West by Jonathan Hickman, the first issue is free. Nailbiter by Joshua Williamson, Birthright by Williamson. Like the first issue is free for a lot of these books. Sex Criminals by Zdarsky. So
yeah,
that's a cool thing about Comixology, that you could try out the first issue and see if you want to get it. So I think what I'm going to be doing is kind of reading the first issue on Comixology and making a judgment of, do I want to buy the trade? So, or read it on Comixology because I like digital comics. unlike somebody.
Okay, I don't mind them. Jesus, I just prefer physical.
My God.
Same reason. I don't read single issues of them. I want to get more into them. My favorite would be, if this counts. I don't believe it counts anymore.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, yes, but I was gonna say Invincible.
Oh,
That's so funny that you mentioned that. Because
Why?
mine's The Walking Dead, and I don't know if
same writer. Yeah,
Robert Kirkman.
The reason why I don't say it counts as any anymore, because they both now are being adapted, and in like
both of
TV
them are
form.
very big now. But I mean, like when I was reading The Walking Dead before issue 100, which is the big Negan, issue, the issue where it does the bat. So like, I don't know, like to me in my childhood memory, I don't know if that was like an indie book at the time because it was still big. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. The same reason for me in Invincible. I'm reading it recently, so
I remember. Oh my God! Wow, such a weird nostalgic memory because the show was out before Negan was introduced, right? So it was like season 2 or 3 of the show, and I was watching the show, reading the book at the same time. Issue 100 came out, and I remember like in the letters section, there was like this big letter that was just calling Robert Kirkman out. It was like, how dare you do this to Glenn? Like, you're an idiot, blah, 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 blah. Massive, like half a page thing.
Nick
And then at
Spencer
the end, it was from Stephen Yeun, actor. And I was like, oh my God, it's the dude who plays Glenn on the show.
That's actually hilarious.
I thought that was so great. Yeah. Wow.
That's
Memories,
great.
eh?
Yeah. Smarbo asks, opinion on Scott Pilgrim versus the World being the best comic book to movie adaptation of all time. Agreed.
Interesting.
Actually agreed.
Yeah, I do know a lot of people who say that. Never read the book or the.
But what about what about Watchmen? Greatest adaptation.
No,
ever.
totally.
Fuck.
No, that's a good point. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That would be my favorite indie comic if that counts.
Yeah.
That
That makes sense.
so good. It's short. It's only, you can get in 6 volumes, but it is so good.
That movie is so good too.
It does everything the movie does, but the book has more. It has a lot more flashbacks to when Scott was in high school, dating Kim, a lot more MB Adams. So it's such...
but does it have Brie Larson singing Black Sheep?
Hello again.
I'm gonna be honest.
Good song.
Not the biggest fan of the Scott Pilgrim movie. I never read the book, but not the biggest fan of the movie. I know you love it. And I know a lot of people love it. It's like all the Edgar.
Is it because like fun happens?
I don't know. I don't think I'm that big into Edgar Wright.
I can't handle this. I can't handle like a nice story with characters.
Are you, JD? Are you one of those people who are just like, yeah,
I need the cannoli. I need the mafia to do a shootout. The boom, boom, boom.
I don't need this. I don't need this.
That was so good. All right.
This episode started with JD ripping on Hunter, and now it's Hunter and I united, just making fun of JD.
There's a bang bang. I put the bomb in his car. Boom.
Oh God, when will it end?
Oh my God.
Okay, here's a great question. Great question. This one's kind of for Harper, kind of for all of us. ECM Marvel Knowledge asks, will you guys actually do this Q&A, or will Harper once again sidetrack the podcast?
That's brilliant. He's Australian, I think. That's Tim, isn't it?
ECM Marvel Knowledge?
He's the other Australian who got the Crazy Hero Pays.
Aussie. Yeah, he rocks. That's funny. He's partially right, isn't he?
Oh, that's funny. Comic _ Nation 1776 asks,
hate that guy.
Oh my God.
Fucking hate him.
He asks, who do you guys want to see take over the next Captain America title?
Not you, Clay. Anyone but you.
He brought up Patrick Gleason, and after thinking about Superman Rebirth, I'm all for it.
That I would even say Chip Zdarsky, if he's okay with doing another book right now.
I think he's a little preoccupied, but I just read Spider-Man Life Story. I thought the 60s issue that featured Cap, I thought that was really well written. So
Donny Cates, he's just ending Venom. He could.
I thought he was doing Spider-Man or Fantastic Four or something.
He's doing Spawn.
Oh.
like a different Spawn book.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he's
I
doing like a Spawn series.
I thought, wasn't he taking over Spider-Man? Wasn't that a
Was
thing?
Anyway,
No, that was a
look,
rumor, but I don't think it's
Oh.
gonna happen.
can't. Well, anyway.
Age of Hero 17 asks, any guest hosts from the Instagram comic community you guys would like to have on in the future? How about Caleb?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Comic Savior here.
We'll have to
What's
have-
How you
fucking
doing?
good?
How you doing, Caleb? What books you been reading, man?
Yo, just Young Justice. It's the only book I've ever read.
That's Comic Savior. He was on the show recently, but he's probably gonna come back on again. We've actually had we used to do a lot of big name Instagram comic community people. We had Eunice, World of Flash on. We had World of Mura.
Yo, I hate that guy. It's me, Caleb. I hate Eunice.
But we probably we'll probably have more
Who
on.
do the people want us to have on? Like, is there
Yeah.
anyone that like they want us to have on?
We're gonna
Because
have-
right.
We're gonna have so many people be like me.
I feel like I don't know as many, like talk to as many people, I guess, because I'm not in as many group chats. So I don't know if you guys know someone who is.
I
better
had
suited.
an idea. I had
Who?
an idea.
Oh god,
I
I'm already scared.
thought, and this was because of talking to the people involved with it, I thought it would be cool closer to when it's coming out if I don't know how far we can push, like how many people we can have in a call. That would be a thing to figure out. But we should get a few of the people involved with Gavin J. Knopf's Spider-Man Lotus.
Yes.
I was thinking
And
that
a
too, like the
big-
cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that'd be
Oh
cool.
fuck. I'm gonna forgive me because I'm gonna butcher this name. I think their name is, well, they have it like they've got like in brackets how it's pronounced. So I believe their name is To Win, which is the person who's playing Gwen Stacy. She's actually listened to the show before, and I proposed that idea to her, saying we should have the cast on.
That'd
So-
be cool. Except maybe the kid.
Well, yeah, the kid. Because can you imagine if we had the kid on?
Harper would scar
And
him.
that's it.
But like we could have
Gwen MJ.
Sean-
Peter.
Sean-
we
well,
could
Sean
have
used to have a
Warden.
Sean used to have a comic
Sean.
account. Like I remember he used to comment on a lot of my posts, so he knows his shit about comics too.
Although that's a lot, because you've got
Big Zoom call.
yeah, it'd be Gavin, Warden, Sean, Two In, and the
MJ.
lady who plays Mary Jane, whose
that
name I don't
bandwidth is just
know.
gonna be like.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's what 5 extra people with the 3 of us. So that's a lot of people.
Mhm. And
Uh,
Josh
we'll try and make it work.
Williamson, because he'll be
Uh,
on
If
with
not,
that too.
I think it would be cool to even just get like some of them on just to talk comic books, like not even necessarily Lotus stuff, but just like because
Just
they're clearly fans
Spider-Man.
as well.
Just Spider-Man in
No,
general.
because like fuck Spider.
Okay, jeez.
Oh, that's one of my dad's. Oh, can you do the Sly Stallone for my dad? He was asking about that last week.
Hey yo, it's me, Sly Stallone. What's going on? What's your dad's name?
Tom.
Hey Tom, what's good? It's me, Sly here. You go trouble rounds, eh? We'll go to Punto.
Oh,
That's a good impression.
Thank you very much.
what I was gonna say, Sly, is that my dad loves that when Harper says that he hates Spider-Man, my dad laughs every time. So
Good. Fuck Spider-Man. Fuck him.
he
I mean,
just listened. He
fuck
just listened to the
Spider-Man.
Gavin interview while he was at the gym, and he was like, he loved that you started it with like saying that you hate Spider-Man.
Okay, Harper, legitimate question. Why do you hate Spider-Man? Because I used to go to a comic
No.
store where the owner just hated Spider-Man. That
He's
no,
actually,
honest-
Ga-
I don't,
he's actually
I don't actually
Gavin's-
hate Spider-Man.
He's
It's
actually
just that
Gavin's reverse Flash. He's from the future,
I
and Gavin
so
didn't
am.
let him into the role in
It's
the
the
movie.
only
So
time
he
Spider-Man
decided that
was-
he's gonna hate Spider-Man to spite Gavin.
I just I mean, most Spider-Man fans are probably good. It's just the subsection of Spider-Man
Oh,
fans
it's
that
the-
annoy
it's
that
the-
annoy me so much that I just
Spider-fans
think
are
it's
still good.
funny to be
They
like,
fight,
fuck
They
Spider-Man. Like,
kill,
just be like,
they betray one
because
another.
people will message me and go, but dude, like, you like, Matt Murdock and Wally West and Tony Stark, and Peter is like a flawed kind of character like that. And I'm like, yeah, nah, fuck him.
Because yeah, the comic store owner that I used to go to, he used to hate him so much, and he'd be like, "Oh, because he's a superhero who's a superhero because he feels like he's guilting into doing it." And I'm like, so
Kind of like the main
Yeah.
premise, but okay.
yeah, I know. Go on. So, anyways, get back to these questions.
What is that all we could come up with? Just Lotus people?
Yeah, as of now.
Shout out
we'll
to
get
the
back
Lotus
to you.
people.
Well,
Well,
I'm
we
sure-
said
I'm
like
sure-
ask us.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
Yeah.
other comic accounts who would be awesome to talk to. I just
Well, there's a few I can think of right now, but I don't want to like go. Let's definitely get this person on,
Yeah, well,
and then
we'll
after the show
talk
you go
behind the
like,
scenes.
no, we actually hate them with a burning passion. No way we're having Davian on.
wow, 2 weeks in a row, Davian's getting bullied on this show.
I
I'm
literally
sorry.
saw his question and I
Fuck
scrolled
Davian.
past it.
Davian's worse than Spider-Man somehow.
Mad Sam 231 asks, what were your guys' first comic books that you guys ever read?
The Walking Dead, ironically.
Oh, really? I
The
didn't know
Walking
that.
Dead and Iron Man Extremis.
Mine was
Wow.
a Spider-Man 2 tie-in comic that I don't remember the issue, but yeah, weird. The cover is Dr. Octopus with with just a trench coat and no shirt, being like, "Ah," and Spider-Man jumping at him. I remember that very well. I still have it somewhere. But the first like main comics that I remember reading were the Sonic the Hedgehog Archie comics.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Inner
Wow.
Caleb came out there. Oh,
Not Caleb
Oh,
on this show.
gosh.
yeah.
Of course.
Gandalf.
Out of the damn way.
Oh, never mind. I thought you-
Who let the simpleton out of the asylum?
I thought I see it's Arthur Morgan now, but I thought it was Gandalf at first.
No, it's Arthur Morgan.
I kind of heard Gandalf too for a minute.
Yeah.
How you
oh,
doing, boy?
Can you do your
Okay,
Gandalf?
fuck.
I like your Gandalf.
Bilbo, you haven't aged a day.
Oh
Anyways,
my God.
JD.
My first comic was Batman and Son by Grant Morrison, which
Ooh.
scarred me because I was like 10. My dad got it for me. I've told the story a bunch of times, but my dad got it for me, and I read it, and I was so confused. Like Batman kind of gets raped by Talia, and
Oh, that's
Da-
that.
Damien beats the shit out of Tim Drake, and I was like, "There's two Robins? What?" Like I was so confused. That was like a definitely weird introduction, and then I didn't even end up getting into comics until like 3 years later. So I was only like 10 at that point. So
That put you off. You're like, fuck
put-
this.
well, I read it like twice, and I was like, I kind of like liked the art style of it, but I was so confused by the story, and I was so lost. And to this day, I'm still lost by Grant Morrison, so it works out.
Fair
I
enough.
love Grant Morrison.
Adam Brown _257 for me, I guess, says, when will Hunter pick up Invincible Compendium #2 because it's very good? That's my answer.
When he
Is that
gets
a-
more
is-
money.
That's
Yeah.
Davian's second account.
Is it actually? Oh my god.
No.
He was
Well,
about to edit that out of the podcast just to spite David.
I just got the Captain America Brubaker omnibus, which was quite pricey. So eventually I will get it, especially with the show starting right away here. So
That was pricey, really. I got a box to the right of me that I think was a little slightly more pricey.
well, I mean, it was pricey in the sense that it was like $80.
Oh, Jesus.
I know that's chump change to you rich people, but
who's you rich people?
Harper.
Yeah. Look at JD. He looks
Oh,
poor
look
as
at-
shit.
Oh,
Owning one shirt.
He's-
He's
It's
like,
multiple
hey, I
shirts,
only
it's
buy the
multiple-
tank tops because I like how they look.
And then it's just the only thing he can afford.
well, yes, but technically no. There's multiple of them. It's not just one every time.
Nick Dot Heasters3 asks, favorite retcon? I don't know.
That's a great question.
That is a great question.
I had
That's
to,
an
I had to think
excellent
about that.
question.
Oh,
Favorite
Wow.
retcon
I can think of so many retcons. Like,
that I don't like.
yeah, like, but like,
What's a
I
good
don't
one?
like. I can think of some things that I don't think quite constitute a retcon because they're not like. When you think retcon, it's like something that was set up and then a new writer comes along and undoes it or redoes something different. Because I was going to say, oh, Wally and Linda having kids at the end of Jeff's run, but like that was clearly his plan was to,
Yeah.
subvert, like have the miscarriage and then have them at the end anyway. So I don't think that quite counts.
I can think
what
of-
about Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch's father being Magneto? Isn't that a retcon?
Well, no, it's
No, the
not
the
being
rec-
Magneto is retcon.
it's a
I-
double retcon. Yeah.
I said that backwards, but like I feel like isn't that one of the more favorable retcons in comics?
But now it's no longer.
Yeah, now it's no longer a thing. So it's like
Yeah.
it was cool. I mean, it seems like a thing that would be cool,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Oh!
What?
I know a good retcon. A good retcon is the fact that original Superman was always around during the New 52, and the New 52 Superman was a new dude.
Oh yes, I do like that.
That's a good
one.
retcon. And then, I mean, they kind of combined them, sort of. But
That
the
was kinda
idea
weird.
that, well, that was weird. But the fact that they're like, okay, you guys thought this Superman was out of character. You don't like him. We're not even going to try and make him closer to regular Superman. We're just going to say that, prime original Earth Clark has been out there, and now he's seen the other Superman die, and he's back. That's a cool retcon.
That's a good one. Here's one. I don't know if you guys would agree with this or not, but Dr. Manhattan causing Flashpoint, not Barry.
Oh,
Allen.
yep.
I like that.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Because before it's like, Barry, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
But now it's saying Dr. Manhattan. So
But now it's literally Dr. Manhattan just went, I'm going to mess with Superman, and then your Flashpoint.
Wally was sucked out.
What about in Flash 123 when Barry makes his way to the Golden Age Earth, like instead of, because back then the Golden Age heroes were only comic books, so it's kind of a retcon of like actually making them real.
Well, that's like the most iconic. I mean, that's the introduction.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's like
multiverse,
a great retcon.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it is.
Drew Dennis asks, your
Never
house is
heard of
burning down and you can only save 3 trades. What are you grabbing?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Trades.
Not single issues, so trades.
Oh man. Okay. Damn, that's hard.
That we own.
Damn. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, you go first.
Mark Waid Flash Book 2 because it's got Return of Barry Allen.
I was thinking the exact thing.
Jeff Johns Flash Book 3 because it's got Blitz. And Dixon Nightwing Book 5 because it's my favorite story, Hunt for Oracle. Damn. That's hard. That's hard though.
That is
I'll,
a hard
I'll
question.
go. Yeah, I might change my mind here, but right off the top of my head, Justice League New 52 Volume 6, Dark Side War. Then I'll go, honestly, Hawkeye, My Life as a Living Weapon by Fraction. I really like that. And Invincible Compendium #1 because it's massive and I could read it multiple times and it'll last a while. I might change that. That's off the top of my head. I'd have to look at my shelf. Oh, I'm taking Invincible and I'm putting Frank Miller Daredevil Volume 2.
I was going to say Bendis Daredevil Volume 1. Watchmen, I can't live without it. Oh God, I can't pick between like the first book in Matt Fraction's Iron Man or like Jewel of Iron from Denny O'Neil's Iron Man. One of them. I would just try and pick like one important book of each in that, when the house is fucking burning down, because I can't apparently grab six books.
You're just staring at your trade shelf like,
just like, oh, I'm just get out, and I'm just like, but which book am I gonna take a boo?
Okay. Billy Rathbone asks, "What's your favorite era of comics?" I have one for Marvel, one for DC.
Yeah, DC for me is 1994 to 2008, and I could push that to 2010 sometimes. Marvel is pretty much like 2001 to kind of like 2000. What was that reboot? Like 2016?
15.
Around there?
15?
15, yeah.
Yeah, that's for me, Marvel. 2001 to 2015.
Mine would be 1998 to 2015 for Marvel.
Focus Iron Man.
What about DC? I feel like DC, 94 is where they really take off. Like that's when Wade's Flash is kicking, Kyle's Green Lantern, Dixon's Nightwing. Like there's a lot of great.
This is going to be unpopular. DC 2016, 2017. Starter Rebirth.
What?
Starter Rebirth.
I have a soft spot for it because I read it, but like,
yeah,
I read every single title for 2 years, and I had a blast except for when I read Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle, yeah, Supergirl Rebirth.
Yeah, that was
Superwoman.
But the first 2 years of Rebirth, I was so happy.
There's a lot of quality in that.
DC for me would be like 1990 on dot to like 2009, I think.
Yeah. For me, it's like right
That-
when
yeah.
Final Crisis comes, like that's when DC kind of just starts to fizzle out.
Yep, yeah. It's sad to say, but it's like the DC universe, and because I love him, he's one of my top characters. But the DC universe just stops being nearly as interesting once Barry's back. I'm just
Pretty
like,
mu-
oh,
pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah.
beginning of the end. Like it's the beginning of, yeah, this universe is not going to be the same ever again in a
Yeah.
negative way.
Yeah. M Mason _17 asks, what's the worst comic series or single issue you've ever read?
Oh, Legends of the Dark
Yeah,
Knight.
Legends of the
Death Metal,
Dark Knight.
Legends of the
Harper,
Probably that.
Tyler, and I reviewed that on an episode of the podcast when JD
That was a
couldn't make it.
historic episode.
I
That
remember listening to that episode, and I was going to the comic shop, and I was like, okay, I'm not buying this.
not
now.
picking this up.
We were like in pain reviewing this comic.
It was pretty fucking bad.
This was like the worst thing. I think we all said like this is like someone said this is the worst thing I've ever read, and me and you, Harper, or me and Tyler or someone were like, yeah.
yeah. We're just like we're trying to rate it, and I'm just like, they really wrote a story where baby Bruce Wayne falls down some steps. Like, what is this?
Like this was
Oh,
yeah, that's the worst thing I've ever read. JD.
that's a bad issue.
Oh man, I don't know. It's hard for me to pick like worst thing because I read based on other people's recommendations for the most part. So I'm reading a lot of the best. So it's kind of tough. I'm not a big fan of. I think it's called Superman vs. Shazam. I think it's by Judd Winnick. I have it on my trade shelf, and I plan to get rid of it soon because I just don't care for it at all.
Comic _ Milano asks, how does Harper keep that luscious
Hayden.
beard in shape?
Wow, that's it. I actually.
Oh,
have
I
an
watched
answer
your
to that
video
too. I
on
didn't
that
know
this
that's-
morning that you sent to the chat. I was like, that was A1.
Oh, was this the ancient lamination one?
No, the one where you described
Oh, where
like,
I
what
went through
your
my
beard
beard.
process. I was like, that was
Okay.
good.
So here's the beard process for those who are interested. Basically, you got to make sure you're trimming up here and underneath here every day or every couple of days, right? You got to maintain the shape. Now, if this bit here, this is like, everyone's going to skip past this. You got to keep this trim so it always goes into the sideburns. Unless you have long hair, then you can kind of get away with it. What I do is I buy this beard oil stuff where I put like 3 drops here, couple drops here, and a couple drops in here. You rub it through, you kind of make contact with your skin underneath, and then there's kind of this like paste stuff. It smells amazing. It's like vanilla and sandalwood or something. Every time I put it on, I feel like a god. And then you just kind of smooth everything out, and then you get this lovely shape.
I didn't
Something
realize.
JD
I thought you
needed.
just didn't shave.
No. I put a lot of work into it. It was
Okay.
Beth in the group chat went, I didn't realize maintaining beards was like a daily thing. And I went, it's like every morning. Like, here we go again.
Huh. That's why it looks
Yep.
like a
I think
homeless
that's why
person
a lot
now.
of people shave, because they don't want to maintain like the look.
Also, some of us can't grow facial hair very well.
I mean, the
Yeah, you know,
mustache, I don't
not
do
real
it.
men.
Oh,
I was expecting that. Another one for Harper. Musty Churro asks, why does Harper bully Hunter for being an Aquaman fan?
I don't know, because they're both dickheads.
Like Aquaman and me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, you're like practically the same. Oh my god! Sorry to interrupt this, but we got what last week? I had someone message me, and I bet he's listening to the show because he ended up being an actual listener, who was like he just messaged me. He's like, "Fuck you for bullying Hunter," and I was like, "Wait, hold on," and like we just had this battle, and I could tell it was ironic, but like. At one point, he went Joshua Harper, and I was like, "Oh my god, you know my name, like my full name." I'm like, "Who are you?" And it just went on for like half a. It was
did you ever find out who it
crazy.
was?
I'm gonna try and find it, but it was just wild. And then
Who
like, I
are
was at
you?
work-
You know who I am.
I was like, "Oh, this is Gavin," and they're like, "Why would it be Gavin?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, it's not Gavin." And then Gavin like called me midway through me reading the messages. He's like, "It's not me." I'm like, "Who is this
Whoa.
guy then?" It was crazy. It was very awesome though.
Wow.
By the end of it, he was just like,
I
"I'm just
appreciate
fucking with you guys."
the defense.
Yeah, right.
Interesting.
He was really
Aquaman
going
fans
in.
loyal, yeah.
Like, you stupid Australian C word. I was like, what have I done?
Oh,
What have you done? You've despised Aquaman. I guess.
I don't actually hate Aquaman. Again, it's just part of the character.
Yeah, okay. Underscore Apollo underscore films asks, are there any characters who you would like to read more about?
Not
mine
Aquaman.
mine was Hawkeye. Mine was Hawkeye, but I just got the trades.
nice.
So that one's gonna be
Yeah,
done
I guess
soon.
mine was Captain America, and I just got that trade. Besides that, though, X-Men in general. I like to read more Thor as well, and Captain Marvel, Carol
I'd
Danvers.
like to read more Superman. Like, I'd like to go back to some classic Superman runs.
Oh, where
there
he like
has to
shot
be...
little versions of himself out of the
No. Like, I imagine in like the 80s and 90s, there must be like, there was this great Superman run in the 80s or 90s.
Jeff Loeb has a good Superman run. I don't know what year it's from. I think it's
Interesting.
90s.
Jeff
good.
Loeb.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like Superman.
What comic underscore germ asks, what is your favorite comic book moment / panel / page?
I saw this
God.
question when I looked through them. This is a very tough one because
Not for me.
Harper
tough
brought
one.
up one of my favorites in DC Rebirth 1 with Wally's Return. Like that one really touched me inside. But
yeah.
since we already brought that one up, I'm gonna go with the end of Terminal Velocity when Wally returns from the Speed Force and like he has that moment with Linda. Like that's that's like one of my favorite. Like it feels like a movie to me. Like the first time I read it, and really every time I read it since, like I still get like kind of chills. So
yeah.
I'll go with that. There's so many moments from Wade's run that Hunter needs to read all of. That you know, that legitimately feels cinematic, and that like if they were all done in an animated series, like if you just went from the beginning of his run to the end of his run, like it would be the most popular thing.
For me, it's Justice League issue 40, New 52. It's before Darkseid, where you get the back of all the heroes looking out. So you get Wonder Woman looking out, like a young Diana looking out from Themyscira saying, what's out there? And then you get Clark looking like a young Clark looking at the ship when Pa and Ma Kent first show him, and he says, what's out there? Hal Jordan as a kid looking at the stars with his daddy and goes, what's out there? Aquaman as a kid with his dad looking out into the sea saying, what's out there? And you have Batman is back and he's looking out the window like a young Bruce Wayne and he says, he's still out there. Oh, so good.
That's good. That's
I don't
really
remember
good.
that at all.
I'll have to send it to you. It's my favorite page in all comics.
I feel like mine changes so like I would have said the just the panel where Rorschach is sitting on the roof like writing in his journal in the first issue just because I love the colors, but like at the moment I'm just obsessed with this, and it's because when I was like reading Denny O'Neil's Iron Man, I was like I'd kind of drop in and out. I'd read a couple issues, and then a couple days later I might read an issue, and then a couple days after that I might read 3. I was very inconsistent, and I finally got to issue 200, which is like the, you know, it's like 34 issues of setup from like the introduction of Obadiah Stane to this final showdown. Tony like building the Silver Centurion, fighting Obadiah, you know, getting the company, well, not really getting it back, but, you know, stopping Stane from ruining his name. And, you know, it's a double-sized issue. And it's like this massive battle back and forth. And like a couple issues earlier, we learned that Obadiah Stane's dad, like, shot himself in the head in front of Obadiah, and he was like, oh, my dad robbed me of, you know, having a dad and everything. And when you get to these last 2 pages of this issue, I remember just like blitzing through this book, and I get to these last 2 pages and like Tony has practically defeated Obadiah Stane, and Obadiah Stane's on the ground, and he's like, okay, you've beaten me, but you can't secure like a proper victory. And Tony's like, why? And Obadiah's like, because I can still deprive you of one thing. And then he points like the gauntlet up to his head, and Tony's like, no. And then Obadiah like blows his own head off. And then it's just 1 page. It's the end of the book. And it's Tony walking out of the wreckage of what was Stark International and then Stane International. He walks out and a guy asks him, what happened in there? And it's just a close up of the Iron Man mask. And Tony goes, somebody lost. And I'm like, oh shit. It's so cool. It's so cool.
That was Denny O'Neil who wrote that?
I people are surprised when I tell them this. Denny O'Neil's longest run on anything was Iron Man.
Yeah, when you told me that
about.
the first time, I was surprised because he's done so much stuff that.
Well, he did like a lot of Batman, but I counted it up.
And his Green Arrow, Green Lantern was pretty long too.
I'm pretty
right?
sure Iron Man's longer, which is crazy. now, like having it like complete and collected and everything, I would say it's the second best Iron Man run, in my opinion. Second to Matt Fraction.
Oh,
So good.
okay. Follow-up question.
Ooh.
Racerman 2006 asks for Harper, why is Mark Miller the best Iron Man writer of all time?
Oh, wait, what was this dude's name?
Eraserman 2006.
He's followed me for a
That
long
might
time. I
be
recognize
the
that
dude.
name.
That might be the dude because he was like, I will only stop this if you say that Mark Millar is your favorite Iron Man writer because he knows that I hate Mark Millar.
Okay.
Mark Millar, for those who don't know, was the writer of Civil War. And because of that,
yeah. I see
because
the
of that.
injury.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
just,
fair enough.
oh, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It wasn't Eraserman. There you go. But yes, no, I hate Mark Millar's. Mark Millar's Iron Man is it's the quintessential, like, I have no idea what this character is, but I'm gonna write them how I think. Because it just like, let's neglect, what, 40 something years of character development and then just be like, he's like a, narcissistic asshole that just wants
Villain.
to control everything. And it's like they had to rely on like
I'm Nick
Bendis
Fury
and the
now.
North like rewriting Tony's motivation in the tie-ins in the solo book to make any of it make sense because it was like so opposite. But yeah, anyway, shit book.
The.gamer.lantern asks, deep question here, favorite Ryan Gosling movie?
Oh, that's a hard one because I really like. La La Land's my third favorite movie, so I guess I got to pick that one.
Yeah, La La Land for me. La La Land.
I love his performance in The Notebook, Crazy Stupid Love. He's a great actor.
Yeah, La La Land for me.
I love the Goose so much. I was gonna go like underrated one. I was gonna say like The Nice Guys or something, but
The Nice Guys, like when I watch that, I'm like, this is a Harper type of movie.
well, it's like I don't love it, but I just feel like it's like no one talks about it, and I'm like, it should have more people talking about it at least. God, favorite Goose. I love the Goose so much. I mean, I love Drive, but like,
man, if he was Barry Allen, that would have been so cool.
Okay, here's one: Blade Runner 2049. How about that?
Yeah, good pick.
Love that.
I was thinking about that, but I think I like La La Land a little better.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jalen _ maybe it's Jalen. It's probably Jalen _ kilometer.
This is like the worst episode for
maybe
you.
Maybe it is Jalen. Jalen _ kilometer asks, you think Wallace West should have his gray and red future suit now or grow into it?
Well, if they actually want to tell a story with him, then they could make him get a new suit. Unfortunately, they don't really care about him. I've always kind of been in the school of thinking that if you're going to do the Daniel West story, that's the one where I'd get him into the gray suit because there's a good story to be told there. Williamson teased it. Williamson was leading to it, but it never got told. So I would do it in that story where like it's kind of like his final battle suit and he kind of accepts it like after he defeats his father or teams with his father, whatever's going to happen in that story.
Yeah, agreed.
Here's kind of an Instagram type question. Trey.Pash asks
advertisement.
That's our boy.
Oh, Trey. Hey, he's asking what abs or such do y'all make your Instagram posts?
Oh my god.
Well, all right. So I'm the most basic out of I'm the most basic out of all of us because I have the most basic post. Like Harper like goes ham. Hunter, you have some really good edits. Mine's very like I just put text on picture and post.
I was gonna say I post less consistently, but that's not true, is it?
You post like daily.
I've been posting pretty often.
You not?
Oh. You have actually. I have noticed that you've been back.
I'm back, baby. The followers going. Business is booming again. I'm back up. Ever since I hit 60K again, I'm back. But anyway, I use PixArt and I use Fonto. PixArt is mostly just for sizing the photos, so they're all the same size. Fonto is the one that I use to put the text on the photos. That's how it gets done.
I use just a photo collage app and then Photoshop Mix to do the text and adding things to come out of the black bar that I do. And Insta Size, if I have a thing, so Insta Size costs money, but I download it when it's free. And every time I click on the app, it's like, oh, you have to pay. And then I just hit cancel and I use the app anyways. I get reminded every single time I click on it. It's like, oh, you have to pay to use this app now, but there's a cancel option. So I had that.
Well, do you have any? Do you have your card like linked to you? Oh, okay. There you go.
So I literally just hit nah, and that lets me use the app anyway.
You're literally Mr. Krabs. You'll never get a cent out of me.
Yeah, basically. So I'm still using the app. Yeah. Harper, what do you use?
Well, I've been trying Photo Leap, but I don't think I'm going to continue using it. It was like Photo Fox. Now it's Photo Leap. A lot of people use it. Apparently, it's
Okay.
amazing, but I haven't really loved it. There's one in particular that I use that I do all the text on, and I don't think a lot of people use it. And I notice every time someone does because I'm like, that's one of the fonts from such and such. And the name of it is okay. Next question.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I need to learn how to make my post sexy. Go on.
Oh, okay. Tell you after the show.
Oh,
It's a
he's like a
secret.
magician.
It's
I
a
gotta be the magician. I
Yeah.
gotta know the
No,
magic code.
I love doing this shit.
I guess
So you
it's
can't leave
just,
the podcast, Harper.
just as just a super
my
quick
last
question.
episode.
It's not really for anyone. It's
Okay.
just the E Black Bat asks, is Nightwing 78 still Rebirth? It's in the same continuity, but it's technically isn't Rebirth. But you know, you
No,
don't really.
I mean Rebirth. Rebirth died with like Year of the Villain or whatever.
Oh yeah, basically. So
But
it
even
technically,
with metal,
yes
technically,
and no. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point.
No,
Like I
I
went,
mean it's in the same continuity. There you go.
yeah. Turbok 3 says, is buying trades as they release and then selling them to buy the omnibus a good idea? Sounds like a lot of work.
That's a lot of work.
yeah, I mean it depends on how often you're selling them and if you're able to get good money for them. Trades can be tricky for trying to sell them because typically I don't buy them on eBay unless they're out of print because then I'll just get them on Amazon. Why would I want to use one for the same price? So
Yeah, trades are like the middle, like omnibuses and like single issues or CGC books are the ones you'll get like on eBay, but just a regular trade, like
yeah, like not too many people are buying them unless it's something that's out of print, which I know I've done before. Like I got the Hawkeye books on eBay because I couldn't find them anywhere on Amazon. But
I sold one
yeah,
of my JLD books.
it's kind of a tricky trade. Nice pun there, trade. But honestly, it's kind of what you want to do. If you want to read it in trade, read it in trade. If you want to wait for the omnis, wait for the omnis. I'm not a big omnibus guy myself, so I would say go with trades.
Court_of_comics asks, what are your thoughts on the entire Court of Owls story and their character as a whole?
They were really cool in the beginning of New 52 Batman, but the more I see them, the more I don't want to see them. Like they made it such a big part of Dick Grayson's history, and I kind of hate that at this point. Like I don't want anything. I don't want it to do with Nightwing anymore. So yeah, I kind of got sick of them.
I love Court and City of Owls.
Oh yeah, I mean great stories.
11 issues or whatever. It's fucking
it's a great story.
But I wish that was like the only time they showed up. Like I wish that was just it.
Agreed.
Underscore Bat Girls GRRL.
That's
Beth. She asks, what was the book or character that got you into comics? So I guess this isn't like what we answered before. What was our first comic? What was the book that got us into comics?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
For me, it was Chuck Dixon's Nightwing. That was the first. I got that out of the library, the trades, and that was the first run that I ever read from beginning to end. Like that was the first time I saw like a full comic book story, and I was like, wow, like this is such a neat way to tell a story. So, and it made me fall in love with the character. So that was the book for me that made me think like, wow, this is something that I need to be addicted
to. For me, I guess it was. I mean, I read the Sonic the Hedgehog comics and the Mega Man comics for years and years and years. So them, but if I'm just talking about superhero comics, it was Justice League and Batman New 52. I got both of those when they were coming out because I heard that DC's doing a reboot for new readers. It's going to be new reader friendly. So Batman and Justice League were the books that I started with.
If only you would have known what the New 52 really was.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, something for new readers. And when I read it, I understood what was going on. So, you know, before then I read like big Batman stories here and there, like Killing Joke and Hush, but it was more so just like stories that I would get like once a year or something like that. So New 52 is what got me fully into it. Harper?
It's interesting because like I feel like, you know, my interest in superheroes was peaked as a kid from the Justice League animated series and the Spider-Man animated series. That's how I found my boy Wally, and that's how I found my boy Matt from in Spider-Man. That is like the best couple episodes in that show. But anyway, but I don't know if like there's a single comic that got me into comics, if that makes sense. Like I went, oh, I like Iron Man a lot, and then I just kind of started reading the 2004 series, but I wouldn't credit that as like, oh, that got me into comic books, because it felt like I read that, and I read The Walking Dead, and then I read like some Daredevil, and then I read like more Iron Man pretty
Like
much,
what
and
was
then
there a run though that you were like that you had
I
the
don't
the
know.
effect that I had where I was like, wow, like this is such a cool way to tell a story. Like,
I
was
don't.
there that
I
one
don't.
that kind of made you like, this is what I want my hobby to be?
No, I don't. I think it was more gradual. I don't think I ever had a tipping point.
Interesting.
Like I think I was reading more and more. Like I jumped on Wade's Daredevil when it started, and I was reading. You probably say that because that was like the first series that I was really properly reading ongoing, and then I like read that up until like what 2014, end of 2014, and then you've got Bendis's Iron Man. I read that, and then you've got DC Rebirth. I feel like DC Rebirth is what made me like want to talk about comics, if that makes sense, because I had a
Yeah.
lot of feelings on it.
Same with me.
But
That's
yeah.
when I started my account. Was when Rebirth began.
But like, I guess if I had to point to a series, yeah, no, because now I think about it, when I think back on Wade's run, I just like remember being happy. I just remember being so happy. I'm like, this is so cool. Like that's how I felt.
That's cool.
What was the
issue
first one you
fighting
read
the spot.
in single issue Hunter? Because the Batman and Justice League stuff was in trade, right?
Well, it was
Oh, well,
no.
God.
Technically, it was in single issue because it was on only one trade. Both of them were both on their first trade when I got
Oh,
into it. So I have like New 52 Batman stuff when Court of Owls was just ending.
oh wow.
Yeah, that's what.
Amazing.
And I've told the story in the podcast before, but I got into it because a homeless guy on the street wanted. me
Yeah.
to- Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So just for those listening, I don't know, just real quick. My family went out for dinner downtown in the city that I live in, and as we were just kind of walking around because it was a nice summer day out, and some homeless guy really needed money, so we gave him some money, and she's like, "Hey, I'll sell you some comics if you could lend me like a $20 bill or something." So my at the time I didn't have a job, I was just a teenager, and my dad's just like, "Yeah, okay, we could do that." So he had the first trade for Batman and Justice League, and he's just like, "I'll give you these two for $20." So my dad's like, "All right." So I
It's a
gave him
good
20
deal.
bucks, and he's like, "Here you go, Hunter." And I was like, "Cool, I like Batman."
You're like, how do you know my name? Pulled off the mask. He's like, it's me. It's Mark fucking Ruffalo here, buddy. What's going on?
I was waiting for that.
Wait, homeless guy. JD, you might know him.
Better be better bad, better boo.
But yeah, he's just like, "Here you go." And I was like,
Australia, Harper. We don't need to worry about him no more.
and then I read them both, and I was like, "This is so cool! I get what's going on. I'm not confused." And
I can imagine reading Justice League Origin and Court of Owls for like as your first comics. Like that must have been awesome. Like
Yeah.
first superhero comics. Like that
yeah.
must have been awesome.
Well, but I read like Killing Joke and Hut. I was a huge Batman fan. Like Batman was the only character that I really cared about back then. So I was like, "This is so cool. I get it."
You read Hush, and like me, you were like so lost, but it was cool. But you're like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I read Hush like when I was like 10.
That was like one of the first Batman
Oh
comics I
my
read, and I was
God.
like,
I
why
read
is he
Hush when it
calling-
was like coming out.
I was like, why is he
Well,
calling
not
the guy
quite.
with the blue striped dick? That's so mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought Batman was the biggest jerk. I was like,
That's so
doesn't-
stupid.
Yeah, I know.
No, just JD's joke. I'm like,
No, that's literally how I felt. I was like, why does he?
Really?
I'm
You're
the
like-
same way. I'm the same way.
I didn't know he was that crazy.
that's
For-
funny.
I was
First-
also like 13, so come some
Yeah,
slack.
that'll do it.
First Flash fan asked, "Do you guys want to work for either DC or Marvel?" Whatever takes me.
For me, it's DC because I just don't have the Marvel knowledge to write for them. But
Yeah.
DC would be.
I don't think I'm good enough for either.
Whoever takes me,
Wow,
please take me.
three very different answers here.
Okay,
I don't know. I don't have the chops. I don't think I would be any good.
Abbas_Jayora asks, "Which character do you guys want to debut in live action?" Assuming characters that haven't
It's
been in live
debut.
action.
Debut? It's debut.
Whatever, man.
Hunter, you're the kind of guy that says hyperbole is hyperbole, aren't you?
100%.
Encyclopedia instead of encyclopedia.
I will cast. I'm not very well. I guess we're not doing actors. Just what character do we want to see?
Yeah.
You guys got any? I'm trying to think of characters that I
Wally,
like that haven't.
Wally
Wally
motherfucking West.
Wally
like,
West, yeah.
I guess so.
never been done in live action. What the hell, man.
Well, he's been done, but he was they debuted him as Wally, just a random Wally, and then they started pitching him more character-wise to being Wallace West.
Yeah, I don't
It's
count
not
that.
even like
so.
when he first showed up, like Wallace didn't exist, so he was just a race swapped version of Wally, but they didn't do anything with him.
No, didn't Wallace already exist?
No, I'm pretty
Wallace
sure they were
existed.
introduced at like the same time.
Because yeah,
I'm pretty sure they were
because
introduced at the
Wallace was
same
introduced in
time.
like 2014, and what season did Wally come on the Flash? 2 or 1?
2.
2,
Yeah, so it's probably-
2015.
yeah, so it's around the same time. He was like,
Yeah, but I think the intent was that he was just Wally West.
Because we didn't know that.
although when the original Wallace came in, we had thought that was just it. Like he wasn't designated.
That's a
as,
good
like,
point.
as a new
Yeah,
character.
but then
We
they
didn't know
just started
Strawberry
pitching
Wally
the
was still
character
up.
like. So they never really
Strawberry Wally.
did anything Wally with him. He's just kind of their own thing. And it's like, I don't care who
Yeah.
plays him. I just want a Wally that acts like Wally. I don't give a
What?
fuck.
Yeah, like
who
I
he
was
looks
I
like.
was watching
care.
I was watching some Justice League Unlimited like highlights of the Flash, and I'm like, damn, like we really need this in live action.
I would say for
don't-
mine,
Maybe Stargirl.
he
will
doesn't
do.
even. I don't even care if he has red hair or not. I just want a Wally that.
Mi-
I just want a Wally that.
Don't you
tastes
want
like real
KJ
Wally.
Appa, dude, with his great
No, I
acting
don't want
ability?
KJ. I don't want KJ.
for me, I
But he
would
has
say
red hair.
any Green Lantern besides Hal. I just want to see more Green Lanterns in live action.
I would love to see Jon
HBO
Stewart.
Max is going to give you your wish.
I know. I
love
really
Jon
hope it
Stewart
looks
so
good.
much.
Yeah, Kyle, Jessica, even I like to see any of them. I'm just.
You know
I
what
just
I'd
wanna
like
more
to
Green
see?
Lanterns.
Another, and I fully admit that I like him in the Flash season 2, even though he's not really the character. But I would like to see another stab at Hunter Zolomon. Oh, Bart Allen! What the fuck am I talking about?
He's been in
Bart!
live action.
Oh, fucking Smallville.
Oh, I was like, wait, when has he been?
That doesn't
anyway?
count.
Joak Colgary 18. I sounded like I was like playing a recorder on reverb.
What the fuck was
Yeah.
that?
Oh,
Anyway,
Joak
moving on.
Kogari 18 asks to Hunter, why the hell do you keep buying Captain America? Because
Alex Ross covers. That's it.
Dude has your
Alex
number.
Ross covers and Patriotic
And you feel
Guy
bad for your
goes,
comic shop.
"Woo." yeah, it's ending soon, and hopefully the next writer's really good. But you know, I like Captain America a lot, so I guess that's fine.
Well, the price of freedom is high, but it's a price you're willing to pay.
That is the
Nice.
price a hero pay.
Nice, dude. That was good.
Let's see. Psych fan 1213 asks, which DC which DC and Marvel movie would you want to be made? So I'm guessing what comic do you want to be adapted? For DC and Marvel, I'm gonna turn this light on.
Oh, Hunter, why did you DM me? I was very confused. Why
Wait,
did you
what?
DM me? The Lighthouse is rated R, so children haven't seen it. I don't
Because
get
you
it.
said that your work with children, and Harper and I were doing it. So I'm like, no, but children wouldn't get it.
Why did you DM me that? You could have just said it on the show.
That's hilarious.
'Cause the
That's so- but
topic
that was
changed.
like 40 minutes ago. And that was so long.
Because the topic changed.
All right, whatever.
It's
Whatever. This is-
amazing that you waited so long.
this is too much
It's
of a long draw.
oh
For
my god.
DC, I'd love to see a mix of the end of Crisis on Infinite Earths with Return
Oh.
of Barry Allen as a movie, because I think if you just set up, Barry being Wally's hero and then being crushed to find out he's actually Eobard Thawne when he comes back,
Mhm.
would make an excellent movie. As for Marvel, I don't know which story comes to mind. I think it would be something Daredevil based, like a real Death of Elektra. Like if they could do the Elektra saga,
Yeah.
actually good.
Yeah.
I would like. that.
Hey, that season's good. It's
I
just
thought it was
not
good. It's just not very
I
accurate.
feel like they can make it a little more cinematic.
Fair
Fair
enough.
enough.
For DC, I'll go with honestly.
Oh, Spider-Man Blue as well. That would probably be a Marvel. pick.
honestly,
They're
Court of
doing that
Owls.
in Spider-Man Lotus.
Directed
coming
and
from-
written by Gavin J. Knopf.
Hi, I'm Gavin J. Knopf, writer and director of Spider-Man Lotus coming fall 2021.
A lot of R's there.
Spider-Man's
I'm
first
Gavin
family.
I'm Devin Good to know.
Sly?
Spider-Man Lotus. It was a
Why you're
gold-
back?
For
Hey guys, it's me. I'm the writer and director of Spider-Man.
Stan, you haven't been on the show in so long. Where have you been?
It was
man?
me. I was Hitler's right-hand man, and I was Hitler.
Oh.
That's one thing that. So I'm reading Fear Itself right now, and I've noticed that
Oh, interesting.
you don't see this in DC, but in Marvel, when you don't want to use Red Skull, you use Hitler. So there's a lot of Nazi stuff in Marvel comics. Well, DC, you never see a swastika ever.
Oh.
That-
But Marvel, it's just like right now in Fear Itself, they have like swastikas
I
everywhere.
do see what you mean. I do feel like
in
because
the
of
in the
Marvel's
Power of Shazam by Jerry Ordway, one of the guys he fights is basically like a Red Skull type thing. Like he's a villain from the Nazis that was like frozen on ice that comes back in the present day.
So
No, but I see what you mean. Like
And
even with
he
the
has like a big swastika on
JSA,
his
you
sweater.
don't see Nazis that much like with the JSA, but in Marvel, I feel like you
see a
see
swastika
Nazis a
more often.
lot.
Yeah, but even then, it's funny because you kind of established everything that happened with Captain America during World War II. So, and then he went under ice and came back. So, when you want to do those flashback stories to what happened, you can't really focus much on Captain America. So, for Fear Itself, they focus on, well, Red Skull eventually, but Hitler. They say like Hitler had like a magic hammer that was hidden in a chamber under the Atlantic. And it's like, that's weird for Adolf Hitler to have. I don't know why they
He was into art, wasn't he?
Yeah, I guess so. It's just weird that like DC's Hitler is what we know as Hitler, but from Marvel he was like into the mystic arts and hammers coming from the
When
sky.
do I
and stuff like
debut
that.
my Hitler impression? Like maybe that's one that we don't do.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
probably not.
That was so good. Ooh. Just like the tugging of the.
Really?
Billy Rathbone asks, well, we answered one of his questions, but he asked another one. I see. Who is your least favorite Robin?
Oh,
Jason
Damien.
Todd.
Oh fuck, good point. Because he.
At least Damien's been written well. Like I like when he's written by Grant Morrison or when he's written by
Well,
Pete
by
Tomasi.
default, it has to be Jason because Jason was the most boring.
He became better.
But like, yeah. Fuck. You got me.
Maybe Tim Drake. I don't find him that.
Oh, what? You've never
He's
read
the
Robin,
best
so
Robin!
no.
Tim
You've never
Drake
read
is-
Robin. You've never read Red Robin. That was nice, right? Red. English language is cool. You've never read Robin, and you've never read Red Robin. You don't have an opinion on this. I don't want to hear it.
Wow. He's the
Okay.
best one.
Yeah, read
Alright.
Robin. Read Robin.
There's literally no other
Read
Robin.
Robin and get back to me.
Well,
I'm gonna play this
maybe.
recording for
I'm
you
sorry,
after you read
guys.
Robin.
You fucking.
Hey guys, Julian _man ask, what are your thoughts on Spider-Man's next movie in the future?
Spider-Man Lotus. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited. The cast and crew of Spider-Man Lotus are excellent. Gavin is putting his all into it, and I know that all the actors are going to put in a great performance. Pretty sure that's the only Spider-Man.
Agreed.
movie
I
coming
guess
Yeah,
that
it's only
movie
one-
is
it's
likely
only one
coming
way.
out before No Way Home. So,
What's that? No way. What's what? Huh?
oh, it's
No Way Home.
oh,
Yeah, no.
Is that an
I haven't
indie
heard of that
movie?
one. Anyway, yeah, moving on. Oh, it's that's that game where the two prisoners like break out of prison, right?
Oh.
a lot of questions on here are very much asking the same, like what's your favorite indie comic and stuff like that. So I'm trying to scavenge. Oh, here's one. Mike.Hansford asks, how many pre-1980s comics have you guys read, in brackets specifically at Comic Rebirth?
Yeah, Harper's probably read the most. I mean, definitely read
Pre
the most.
what?
1980s.
Pre-1980s.
Oh, so 70s counts?
Yeah. Why would it
A few
not-
then?
Yeah, 70s doesn't count though.
No, it's just like because I'm like I'm not digging back to the fucking 60s and 50s, am I? But 70s, yeah. I've read a little bit of 70s DD. I've read a decent chunk of 70s Iron Man because that was Michelini and Leighton's first run with our favorite artist John Romita Jr.
JR.
His art back then was so good. What happened? It was golden back then.
The only one that I feel like I've actually like read like multiple issues like in a row.
Well, the question was directed at me, JD, so I think we can move on.
All right, comic
Yes,
dot
I-
runner.
Australia, huh?
Yeah, crikey, mate, come back. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
Comic dot me or JD?
No, let JD talk.
Okay, JD.
It's my podcast. I'm gonna let JD talk.
I appreciate that, Harper. You're a gracious host. You know, I would say that the only run that I feel like I've read a lot of that's pre-70s would be Stan's Amazing Spider-Man, like the Ditko stuff, and then the Romita Senior stuff is like the one that I've read the biggest chunks of. But other than that, I don't really feel like I've read like that much in a row. Like I've read a few Flash issues here and there from the 60s and 70s, but mostly don't care. Not my favorite type of comics.
There's like something. I know there's a 70s book that I've read, but I can't think of it, and it's doing my head in.
What
Like,
if?
I can. No, I can think of something that's from the 70s and I know I read it, but I don't remember what it is, and it's going to do my head in. So that's awesome. I'm going to think about that for the rest of the show and rest of my day.
Comic.runner asking another question says, what is your least favorite quality of your favorite hero?
That's a good question.
For me, I'll say Daredevil. Sometimes he's like too mean to his friends. Like sometimes, like in Bendis, or just people in general. Bendis's run, his identity is revealed and he's denying it, but he straight up like goes to sue reporters saying that it's real, being like, "Oh, I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna ruin your life if you say that I'm Daredevil." Even though he is Daredevil.
Well, in Bendis's run, he becomes the kingpin of crime, and then he like.
I know, I get that.
He lets it get to him, yeah. And all the other heroes are like, "You're going a bit far, man." So,
yeah, but I like that. But sometimes I was just like, "Oh, Matt, you're suing this person for saying something that's true." It's a little far, but yeah, I still love the run.
Exactly, I know exactly what mine is, and it's like. I mean, it was a part of their character.
Like,
yeah, I was stretching, but I was also doing a Doctor Strange.
I thought it was like some Zeus lightning.
Yeah. Anyway, for both, well, actually, for all three of them, it's kind of part of their character arcs. But like, Tony, Wally, and Matt were always like womanizers and like just terrible to women.
That's my thing. I don't like that Wally was a womanizer, but it's also part of the story, so it's good.
I was gonna say they made it matter, and they made it, now he is like self-admitted. I used to be so shitty, and now I'm better. Tony Stark is a similar way. Matt Murdock is in the middle. Like for me, I'm like, when he loves someone, he clearly loves them, but he's also a dickhead. Like, I think he, out of the three, is the worst when it comes to any sort of relationship. But like Tony's, it's like they did it in the movies too, where they show him as a womanizer, and then he like almost immediately kind of, I mean, in the movies he settles down with Pepper, so I guess that was an easy out. But like, yeah, sometimes it was all right. Like there was an issue of Denny O'Neill's Iron Man where Tony has to go like to Paris or something. And there's this girl who turns out to be a double agent that he's like really interested in America. He goes to France and he sees like this like blonde lady that he's friends with. And Rhodey's like, you seem to be interested in this girl here, but what about the chick you were, thinking about back in America? And Tony goes, well, there's one difference there, Rhodey. And Rhodey goes, what's the difference? And Tony goes, she's here. And I was like, you sly fucking dog. It's such a like dog move. But then again, plays into his character, and now he's much less like that. So it even plays into like that run, because like his like ex, Bethany Cabe, shows up, and then he like all the womanizing like billionaire playboy shit immediately like drops away, and then he's back to like just being an average guy. I like that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's just like womanizy stuff always feels weird, because it's like sometimes it's like
same thing with Dick Grayson too. Like that's my least favorite Nightwing issue of all time is Nightwing Annual 2. Because they have Dick and Corey are gonna get married.
Oh my god!
Drop off the invitation for Babs, but he sleeps with her. I hate that so much.
Oh my god!
In my head, that's not canon, because that's not something Dick Grayson would do. I hate that. It's very out of character. It's disgusting. I hate that.
Why would they think of doing?
So bad.
Yeah.
Also, I hate that whole comic. But like, so Dick and Babs like spend the night together, and Dick says something like, "Oh, how was it?" And Babs is like, "Well, I can't feel my legs this morning." And it's like,
oh my god,
that's not good. Yeah.
Who wrote that?
I have no idea. I really don't remember, but I hate that issue with a burning passion.
That's horrendous. Wow.
And the art in it is really good too, which is unfortunate.
Jesus Christ. That's
all right. Well,
so bad.
Hunty Bear asks, "Are you excited for the Invincible show?" Yes, I am. It premieres right now, and
Don't care.
Okay, well, maybe I will talk about it briefly on one episode of the podcast.
Oh,
JD,
so Nightwing Annual 2 is executively edited by Dan DiDio, and it's written by
Oh.
it's written by Mark Andreico. I don't know who that is.
Oh, that fucking that isn't that like a character? Who is that? That name sounds very familiar.
Super cool art though. Like there is other cool stuff in the issue. Like I'm pretty sure that's the one where Dick and Babs are in the safe and all. But yeah, I don't like it.
JD, are you gonna watch Invincible show? That's the question.
I'd want to read the comic first. So
Fair enough. Yeah, that's fair.
I think maybe in time.
Alpha.Chadley_V.4 asks, I didn't read this question, but I read his username, so this is a question that I didn't expect. What's your thoughts on the Yu-Gi-Oh anime?
Got nothing for you.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I watched it as
man.
a kid.
I've never absorbed even 1 second of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, I
content,
watched it a
so
bit as a kid, but
Can tell you.
it's more into Pokemon. This is sorry, man. Psych fan 1213 again asks, "What's your favorite part of the comic community?"
I like the kind of friendliness vibe that goes on. I get
Yeah.
that there's some outliers, but I think for the most part, it's kind of like a pretty friendly community where people
Yeah.
generally like each other. Like I like that, when Harper posts something, we all comment on it, or if Hunter posts something, we all comment on it. Like I like that.
It's
Like we
wholesome.
interact on the post.
I feel like it's good that you can reach out to pretty much anyone and have like a decent, nice conversation and very supportive.
Yeah, some small comic accounts will message me and then I'll respond and they're like, "Oh my god, you responded!" And I'm like, "Well, what was I supposed to do?
I
Just leave it-
respond to like
Was I supposed to leave it in my request? Like, that's
Yeah.
not nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
he
a
worked
very-
with Brian Michael Bendis, this writer.
Oh,
Maybe that's why.
well, I hate that panel so much.
Oh, creator of Kate Spencer, Manhunter, I think.
The comic community is very wholesome. Like I'm also a big Star Wars fan, so I know what it's like to be in like a terrible hatred community. So comic community is good.
He's on some YouTube stuff, and he wrote that Wonder Woman 77 book, the Linda Carter like inspired one. Anyway,
Oh, I didn't read that one.
no one cares about this except me. I was just like, that name sounds familiar. Yeah, he did some YouTube stuff.
I guess we're just about done here. There's still a lot of questions, but they're mostly ones that are asking the same thing.
Read them all.
Okay.
I don't think you have to read them if they're repeat questions.
ZXR
This podcast has been going on a while.
ZXR142 asks, any new Iron Fist stories, and like a fist emoji.
No.
Actually,
Next
yes.
question.
There is,
Next question.
No, next question.
There's a mini
next
series
question.
happening right
No,
now.
next question.
We're
gonna burn through all
Trey
these.
again asks, why isn't Harper reading JLD?
I've lost the passion. I've lost the love. Everything
Okay.
dies. Life is meaningless.
Okay.
Get on.
Hunty
Wow.
Bear again asks, why does Harper make me so sad?
Well, why is he your
I have
enemy?
that
I don't.
effect on
I feel like he
fucking
always.
everyone.
I feel like he always says something like at you, Harper. Do you like actually message him? Like, why is he your?
I'm
enemy?
pretty sure Hunty Bear is the one that let me check. I'm pretty sure he's the one that messages me every week and goes, "I'm here for the JD meme of the week." And the last thing I said to him, was, "You know what? Fuck off. You go find it yourself." And that was the last thing we said. So maybe that's
Ouch.
why I've made him so sad.
So you're Barry Allen and he's the Eobard Thawne.
yeah, pretty much. I'm pretty sure it's him. Let me check. It's gonna be embarrassing if it's not.
That's
But oh well.
hilarious.
Yeah, I have that effect on a lot of people, dude. I'm sorry, I can't really help it. I make the people in this pot. Yep, it's absolutely who it was.
Matthew_Novak_ asks, general thoughts on Infinite Frontier. What do you guys think about the small number of ongoings? I like it.
DC Comics is dead. Bury it.
I do prefer Marvel at the moment. Yeah.
It's too
Yeah, me
heavily
too.
bat focused, which is very annoying. But if they introduce a second Flash title, an Aquaman title, another Green Lantern title, they could win me back.
Why do you
Yeah, I
sound
mean,
so
granted, a
echoey
lot
now?
of
What
a lot of
happened?
titles like Flash and Green Lantern haven't even started yet. So far, so good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say great, but so far so good.
Nightwing gonna be
Next
the best
question.
book. Confirmed.
Yeah. So
Yeah, well,
he's
oh,
just not.
shit.
I'm running low on questions here. Pedro_Santana_Roll Deo asks, where should I start reading Green Arrow and Black Canary? Green Arrow Rebirth. JD selling it.
Or Green Arrow and
Yeah.
Black Canary by Judd Winnick. It's a pretty popular book. Tyler likes it.
Or Arrow, the TV series.
No,
Season 1
don't
through
watch
8.
Arrow.
Sean Thrunk asks, best run to start reading Justice League. New 52 is probably the easiest run if you want.
Yeah, I would say just start with
Best
that.
one's Morrison's though.
Yep.
Which Hunter hasn't read, so read it.
Yeah. I'm reading a lot, okay? I just
But now that you're Tyler's like Marvel puppet, I want you to be my DC puppet. So
Marvel puppet.
So you can start reading all the books that I
You're
love.
a Marvel puppet. You're Tyler's little Marvel bitch.
Tyler's holding your strings right now, making you read Avengers and all that. I want the strings.
So good.
That would explain the sudden spasms I get every so often. All right.
He just comes into the episode like
There are no strings on me.
marionette puppet.
Okay. Last question. Avenging
It
art.
better be good.
Let's see.
Oh, Davian.
Avenging
You let him
Wait, no. Did you actually fuck that up, or was that on purpose?
That was on
I have to know.
purpose. That was on
Oh,
purpose.
thank God.
It's Davian. Of course he fucked it up on purpose.
I'm not going to do the swear that he put here. But
He says a bad word.
Why is Harper so F-word-ing sexy from a veggie ding art? And then like the emoji that's like, and then the heart emoji, and then eggplant emoji, and then the sprinkle emoji.
I can see why you didn't want to put that into the show.
But I did.
I'm not really, I'm just a guy going about his life, and like I grow this beard hoping that it makes me kind of look unique, but at the end of the day I look at myself in the mirror and I wonder if I'm ever going to be truly happy. And that's been a hero story.
That's an outro. If you're listening on iTunes, we appreciate a 5-star review. If you're listening anywhere else, we appreciate a like, subscribe on YouTube, please. We're trying to make our way to, I don't know what our next goal is, but we're trying to make
it to 300
subscribers.
Yeah, let's try to get there fast, because
Did you
Thank
know
you
that
for
having
having
me on the show, everyone? It's been
this
a great
This was
run.
Harper's final episode. He's finally been voted off the island.
Genuinely final
Did not
episode.
get the last marshmallow. He will walk the dock of shame to the boat of losers. Goodbye,
Yep.
Harper.
Yeah, this is it. Goodbye.